Chapter 372. How dare you? How dare you kill a beast tamer? The tall beast tamer was aggressive as he waved two golden axes in his hands. It looked like he wanted to destroy the intelligent war chariot with one swing. The mechanical soldier did not say anything and swung its blade to meet the attack. A mere puppet dares to be so arrogant? My axe. The tall beast tamer looked at the mechanical soldier with disdain. He did not take the mechanical soldier seriously at all. Although puppets were rare, he had seen them a few times. In his impression, puppets had not exceeded level 3. Therefore, he thought that the mechanical soldier was at most a level 3 puppet. With his strength, he could smash the mechanical soldier into pieces with one swing of his axe. Unexpectedly, he was at a disadvantage as soon as they started fighting. Due to his carelessness, his arm was almost cut off by the mechanical soldier's blade. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the big tiger under him helped and repelled the mechanical soldier. A level 4 puppet. A layer of cold sweat appeared on the tall beast tamer's forehead. He had never heard of a level 4 puppet. Moreover, the mechanical soldier was made of metal and could ignore some damage. Therefore, its combat power had exceeded the level of a level 4 puppet. After figuring out the details of the mechanical soldier, the tall beast tamer did not dare to be careless. He joined forces with the multicolored tiger to fight the mechanical soldier. For a moment, the two sides were evenly matched. Su Chen had been paying attention to the battle. If it was a one-on-one battle, neither the tall beast tamer nor the multicolored tiger would be a match for the mechanical soldier. However, the man and the beast worked together very well. The mechanical soldier could not do anything to them in a short period of time. Seeing this, Su Chen did not want to continue watching. After getting out of the car, he shouted at the mechanical soldier, "Xiao Tai, back off." After the mechanical soldier left the battle, Su Chen released his mind energy to slow down the tall beast tamer and the big multicolored tiger. At the same time, he held the enchanted divine sword and slashed horizontally. In an instant, a fiery dragon that emitted scorching heat wriggled up. "No!" The tall beast tamer screamed in despair. His entire body, together with the big multicolored tiger under him, was directly burned into ashes. To think that there's actually a powerhouse like you among the humans. This queen is rather surprised. Suddenly, a woman's melodious voice entered Su Chen's ears. Su Chen looked in the direction of the sound and saw a giant silver snake slowly slithering over. This giant snake was covered in a layer of silver scales. Its body was more than 30 meters long, and its body was as thick as a water bucket. It gave off a very shocking feeling. Oh my God! I can't believe there's such a big snake in the world. Yang Hao and the others in the intelligent war chariot were stunned. Wu Yang's expression became somewhat ugly because he could clearly feel the aura of the giant snake. It was abnormally majestic and terrifying, giving him a feeling of fear. Su Chen glanced at the giant silver snake and shifted his gaze to the top of the giant snake. A woman from the beast tamer tribe was sitting cross-legged on the giant snake's head. Her body was covered in a white veil. This woman looked to be in her 20s. She also had shoulder-length blue hair. Her appearance was delicate, her skin was fair, and her pair of big sparkling eyes were as bright as the stars. Overall, this woman from the beast tamer tribe could be considered a beauty no matter where she was. Her beauty was not inferior to Tan Lin and Yang Qian. Su Chen had seen many mutated tribes, but most of them were ugly and crooked. It was the first time he had seen such a beauty from the beast tamer tribe. Chapter 373. At the same time, the beauty from the imperial beast tribe was also sizing up Su Chen. In her eyes, Su Chen was a young man with a tall and straight figure, a handsome face, and an extraordinary temperament. Without a doubt, Su Chen was a rare handsome man in the world. With just a glance, the beauty from the imperial beast tribe's eyes shone with a strange light. Her mind was also spinning. "Human, I can give you a chance to live." The beauty from the imperial beast tribe stared at Su Chen and said slowly. Although her tone was gentle, there was a hint of authority. It was as if she had complete control over Su Chen's life and death. "Give me a chance to live? Tell me about it." Su Chen rubbed his nose and asked with a smile. As long as you agree to stay by my side, not only will I not kill you, but I will also pamper you and let you enjoy all the glory and wealth. The beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe said seriously. There was even a hint of anticipation on her face. Su Chen's face suddenly darkened. The meaning in her words was obvious. She wanted him to be her boy toy. Damn it! Wasn't this too cheap? Were all the women from the Imperial Beast tribe so shameless? How could she have the nerve to say something like that? I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in a cheap slut like you. Su Chen snorted coldly. He could even guess that if she could say something like that, she must have gathered many men around her. Just thinking about it made him feel disgusted. Hearing that, the beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe's face showed a hint of anger. However, she suppressed her anger and said in a low voice, "Do you know what will happen if you reject me?" Su Chen curled his lips and smiled contemptuously. "I'm going to uproot your Imperial Beast tribe. Why would I be afraid of your threats?" Hee hee. The beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe laughed instead of being angry. She sized up Su Chen again and a hint of admiration appeared on her face. In her opinion, although Su Chen was boasting shamelessly, he was also quite brave. She had not met a man like him for a long time. Because of that, she became more and more interested in Su Chen. "Do you think that you can be so arrogant in front of me just because you killed Ta Wang?" The beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe scolded softly. Then she said in disdain, "Although Duang is a level 5 evolved being, he is the weakest level 5 in the Imperial Beast tribe. If you still don't agree, I can capture you with one hand." "Then don't be so long-winded. Let me see how capable a bitch like you is." Su Chen snorted, not taking the other party's threats seriously at all. The beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe bit her lips lightly, and for the first time, her face showed signs of anger. Su Chen kept calling her a slut. Her patience had reached its limit. "Since you're up to no good, then have a taste of my power." The beauty of the Imperial Beast tribe shouted and raised her hand to shoot out a white blast of air towards Su Chen. At the same time, the giant silver snake opened its mouth and spat out a white mist, which swept towards Su Chen. Level 5 Ice Element Technique. Feeling a bone-chilling cold coming towards him, Su Chen raised his eyebrows slightly and secretly channeled his fire element magical power. When the white blast of air and mist came close to Su Chen, it suddenly froze and turned into a piece of solid ice, enveloping Su Chen. He saw that Su Chen was slowly frozen from his feet up. Su Chen, Chingu, the people from the intelligent war chariot, had a drastic change in expression, and they were extremely worried. "You talk big, but it's a pity that you're too weak." The beauty from the Imperial Beast tribe's eyes were filled with disdain. Previously, Su Chen's words were very arrogant. She thought that Su Chen would at least have some skills. She did not expect that he could not even take one of her attacks. He also thought that Su Chen was just a flowery person who knew how to talk. "Is that what you think?" Su Chen sneered. A flame suddenly shot out from his palm and circled around his body, quickly melting the solid ice on his body. Chapter 374. Su Chen had the ancient godly demon body, which could resist a portion of level 5 spells. Coupled with the fire element magic of the desert sand fire, it was a piece of cake for him to break the level 5 icebound spell. Su Chen is fine. Chen Gu is awesome. Seeing how easily Su Chen broke the 2 level 5 spells, the people in the intelligent war chariot cheered. How did you do it?" The Imperial Beast tribe beauty's mouth twitched slightly. She looked at Su Chen as if she had seen a ghost. She really could not understand. Su Chen was only level 4. Why was the level 5 spell cast by her and the giant silver snake ineffective against him? Could it be that he was hiding his strength? But even a level 6 evolver would not be able to deal with 2 level 5 icebound spells so easily, right? Moreover, Su Chen was not even 20 years old. It was already unbelievable that he had reached level 4. How could he be a level 6? Unable to figure out the situation, the Imperial Beast tribe beauty panicked. "It's impolite not to reciprocate. I've seen your icebound spell. Now, it's time for you to witness my icebound spell." The corners of Su Chen's mouth curved into a strange arc as he said faintly, "You know Icebound spell too?" The Imperial Beast Tribe beauty was stunned. Su Chen had just cast a powerful fire element magic. This meant that he was a fire element magic psychic. Then why did he cast an ice element spell? Could he be a double element magic psychic? Thinking of this, the Imperial Beast Tribe beauty trembled and looked at Su Chen. In her eyes, Su Chen was holding a pitch-black battle sword and slashing it at her. Then, a white torrent shot out from the saber, and a terrifying icy aura spread out. Wherever it passed, the temperature instantly dropped below freezing point, and even the air seemed to be frozen. The people in the intelligent war chariot felt a sense of familiarity even though they were far away. At this moment, they felt as if they were in a world of ice and snow. They could not help but start to shiver. The Imperial Beast Tribe beauty felt it even more deeply. Her heart was trembling. The ice element spell cast by Su Chen had completely surpassed level 5. It gave her a strong feeling. She even felt that a level 6 ice element spell did not have such terrifying power. The ice element spell cast by Su Chen was a combination of northern frost ice and mysterious ice. In addition to the effects of the enchanted sword, its power had surpassed that of a level 6 spell. It was reasonable for it to have such a deterrent spell. What level is he a magic psychic? The beauty from the Imperial Beast Tribe had lost all hope in the face of the white torrent. She did not have the slightest intention to resist and allowed the white torrent to enter her body. The next moment, she was frozen into an ice sculpture. The horrified expression on her face was clearly visible, but the life aura on her body had been completely extinguished. As for her giant snake mount, just like her, it was turned into an ice sculpture more than 30 meters long. Qin Ji's icebound spell is too violent. Yang Hao clenched his fist. His eyes were full of admiration. His respect for Su Chen had increased to another level. Seeing Su Chen kill a level 5 master with a single icebound spell, the Imperial Beast Tribe members who followed them were scared out of their wits. "Run for your lives!" No one knew who shouted, but the hundreds of Imperial Beast clansmen scattered and fled toward the City Lord's mansion. Su Chen looked around and aimed at the escaping Imperial Beast Tribe members. He threw a Pegasus Meteor Punch at them. More than half of the Imperial Beast Tribe members were killed. Those who were lucky enough to escape were killed by the mechanical soldiers. Chapter 375. Su Chen waved at the intelligent war chariot, then began to pick up the fragments. There weren't many beast tamers and mutant beasts killed this time. The fragments that were dropped were only about 200. However, as he had killed his way here, the fragments were scattered. It took him more than half an hour to finish picking them up. Returning to the intelligent war chariot, Su Chen glanced at the central control screen. There were still a large number of black dots in the mayor's mansion, numbering in the thousands. Moreover, they were no longer scattered outwards. It was as if they were hiding together, ready to fight. Su Chen knew that he had killed 2 groups of beast tamers in a row, including many level 5 beast tamers. The beast tamers must be terrified. Do you think I won't kill you if you hide together?" Su Chen snorted softly, then turned to instruct the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, continue to the mayor's mansion." The intelligent war chariot ignited and moved towards the mayor's mansion. 10 minutes later, in front of a huge building, a large number of beast tamers gathered. Every beast tamer was riding a mutant beast. There were all kinds of mutant beasts such as bears, bulls, tigers, lions, and so on. When the intelligent war chariot appeared in front of them, the half-beast clan began to stir. Everyone's faces were filled with uneasiness. A man's name was like a tree's shadow. Su Chen had killed many of their clansmen along the way. Among them, there were dozens of level 4 beast tamers and above. Facing a god of slaughter like Su Chen, they were a little afraid, or rather, afraid. After the intelligent war chariot stopped, Su Chen walked out of the chariot casually, along with the mechanical soldier. The others were still left in the chariot. "Human, you've killed so many of our clansmen. Are you still not going to let it go?" At this time, an old man with a small head and a round body walked out from the beast tamer clan. From afar, he looked like a gourd with a pinched waist. The mutant beast he was riding was also very strange. It was a mutant beast with 2 heads, a slender body, but a huge head. A man and a beast, they were a perfect match. The beast tamer with a small head snorted coldly, staring at Su Chen, looking unusually angry. If he wasn't afraid of Su Chen's strength, he would have rushed up and killed Su Chen. Let it go? Su Chen snorted and scolded. You beast tamers invaded our territory and slaughtered our fellow humans. How dare you ask me to let it go so shamelessly? Damn it, you're cursing your neighbor. The small-headed beast tamer was so angry that the corner of his mouth twitched. He gritted his teeth and said, Human, we have a level 9 powerhouse in our clan. Those who go against us beast tamers will definitely suffer. Seeing that Su Chen was somewhat unscrupulous, he could only bring out the powerhouses of his clan to intimidate Su Chen. Not to mention a mere level 9, even the existence of more than 10 levels is an ant in my eyes. Su Chen's face was full of contempt as he shouted. He was definitely not a match for existences 10 levels higher than him now, but that didn't mean he would never be a match for them. With his advancement speed, he would reach that level in no time. By then, he would still be able to crush them. The beast tamer with a small head swallowed his saliva. Existences 10 levels higher than them were all mighty figures in the universe. No matter which clan they were in, they were all high and mighty, respected by tens of thousands of people. Yet they were mere ants in your eyes? Damn it, there should be a limit to acting cool. No matter how talented you are, no matter how strong you are, you shouldn't be so arrogant, right? The beast tamer with a small head took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, My clan doesn't want to be your enemy. If you leave now, we can give you some benefits. Facing an expert like Su Chen who could easily kill a level 5 evolver, he knew he was no match for him. In order to protect the interworld passage and to prevent his clansmen from being slaughtered, he humbled himself and started discussing with Su Chen. Chapter 376. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. He had to kill these people from the Beast Tamer clan, but why not trick them before that? Just like how he teased the half-beast clan in Etion City, wouldn't that be more satisfying? After a moment of silence, Su Chen raised his voice and said, If you can give me something that I'm satisfied with, I'll consider it. The small-headed Beast Tamer clan member was overjoyed and coughed softly. What do you need? What he was most afraid of was that Su Chen would be stubborn and refuse to negotiate with him. As long as he could keep Su Chen under control, he could accept any price he had to pay. Because this interworld passage was too important to the Bai clan. And as long as the interworld passage was completely stabilized, their powerhouses would be able to enter the human continent continuously. When that time came, he would skin this detestable brat alive. Give me 1 level 1 to level 5 mutated beast each, Su Chen said calmly. He only asked for mutated beasts for the super ancient devouring adamantine mosquito. That guy leveled up by devouring the blood of mutated beasts. Previously, he was so engrossed in killing that he didn't leave a single mutated beast behind. Now that he had the chance, he naturally wanted to help the super ancient devouring adamantine mosquito level up. Level 5 mutated beast. The small-headed beast tamer clan member's face darkened. Level 5 mutated beasts were treasures in any clan, so he naturally couldn't bear to give them away. We don't have any level 5 mutated beasts for you, but we can use 2 level 4 mutated beasts instead. Worried that he would anger Su Chen, the small-headed beast tamer clan member still spoke in a negotiating tone. Su Chen snorted and looked displeased. How could such a large beast tamer clan not have any level 5 mutated beasts? Who was he kidding? He had personally killed 2 level 5 mutated beast mounts before, and wasn't the 2-headed mutated beast on the other side also level 5? Since you don't have any level 5 mutated beasts, I'll use your mounts to make up the numbers, Su Chen sneered. Woo woo, the 2-headed mutated beast growled and shot a cold light from its eyes, as if warning Su Chen not to have any ideas about it. Human, don't push your luck. The small-headed beast tamer was so angry that his chest heaved up and down. The conditions he offered were already quite generous, but he never thought that Su Chen still wouldn't agree. This was simply going too far. As for his mount, it was indeed a level 5 mutated beast. However, this two-headed mutated beast had been with him for many years. Putting aside his feelings for it, his strength would be greatly reduced if he gave it away. Without strength, how could he establish himself in the Beast Tamer clan? Therefore, he would never agree to Su Chen's request for him to give away his mount. So, you're forcing me to make a move? Su Chen gradually narrowed his eyes, and his voice became cold. If the other party dared to refuse, he would immediately make a move. At most, he would spend some effort and leave behind a few mutated beasts. The small-headed beast tamer's heart skipped a beat when he heard that. His expression became gloomy. Although he didn't know Su Chen well, he could feel Su Chen's killing intent. Once they started fighting, they might not be a match for him. And once they were defeated, they wouldn't be able to keep the interworld passage. After analyzing the pros and cons, the small-headed beast tamer finally gave in. However, he didn't give away his mount. Instead, he brought another one from the beast tamer continent and gave it to Su Chen along with the other 4. Su Chen knocked out the 5 mutated beasts and threw them all into the pet-rearing space. He would leave the rest to the super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito. Chapter 377. Human, I've given you the mutated beasts. Can you leave now? The small-headed beast tamer suppressed his anger after Su Chen extorted 5 mutated beasts. What's the rush? Prepare another 100 level 4 energy stones for me, Su Chen said naturally. He had to find an excuse before he killed the beast tamer tribe. If the other party compromised, he could make another fortune. If the other party did not agree, he could use this opportunity to attack. It would be perfectly justified. You want another 100 level 4 energy stones? The small-headed beast tamer tribe member's eyes widened. He gritted his teeth so hard that they creaked. His anger was obvious. At this moment, he wanted nothing more than to skin Su Chen alive. Not only did he not give up after extorting 5 mutated beasts, he even asked for more. Did he really think the beast tamer tribe was a fool? Did he think he could do whatever he wanted with them? The other beast tamers were also furious. A violent aura filled the air. Although the beast tamer tribe was not considered a powerful tribe, no other tribe had dared to provoke them. Now, they were being threatened by a weak human cultivator at their doorstep. They felt extremely humiliated and did not intend to compromise any longer. Just one word. Are you giving me the stones or not? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stared at the other party. Human, you didn't keep your word. Do you really think the beast tamer tribe is a pushover? The small-headed beast tamer tribe member roared. Perhaps because he was too angry, the muscles on his face were twitching. How did I not keep my word? Su Chen pursed his lips and sneered. We agreed that I would only leave after I got what I was satisfied with. If you don't give me the energy stones, I won't be satisfied. Of course, I won't leave. What a cunning human. The small-headed beast tamer tribe member gritted his teeth in anger. At this moment, he knew that he had been played by Su Chen. He was sure that even if he gave away the energy stones, Su Chen would continue to make unreasonable demands. Thinking of this, he was completely enraged. A man who is never content is like a snake trying to swallow an elephant. Human, you deserve to die. The small-headed beast tamer tribe member growled. Just as he was about to fight to the death with Su Chen, a dignified voice came from the domain passage. Ta Mu, give him the energy stones. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. He knew that the person who spoke must be a powerhouse from the beast tamer tribe. He might even be a level 9 existence. Holy Lord, this human is very treacherous. I'm afraid that he won't keep his word, explained the small-headed beast tamer clan member Ta Mu respectfully while facing the interrealm passage. It doesn't matter. Just give it to him. The dignified voice sounded again. Yes. Ta Mu didn't dare hesitate. He took out a cloth bag from his waist and tossed it to Su Chen. Su Chen released his spiritual force to check, and after confirming that the number was correct, he happily put it into the storage bag. Then, he looked at Ta Mu and reprimanded him like an old man. Ta Mu, learn from those old bastards from your Imperial Beast clan. Lower your head when facing an expert. This way, You might be able to save your pathetic life. Su Chen's words were sharp. He was openly humiliating Ta Mu. In fact, he was also indirectly slapping the face of the beast tamer tribe. How dare you! Ta Mu flew into a rage. Su Chen humiliating him was one thing, but he actually dared to mock the holy lord of the beast tamer tribe. This was intolerable. At this moment, he was already on the verge of exploding with rage. He was just waiting for the holy lord's order to kill Su Chen without hesitation. Even if he knew that he was no match for him, he was fearless. You've already gotten the item. Leave quickly. Otherwise, the fury of our beast tamer tribe isn't something that a lowly human like you can bear. The holy lord of the beast tamer clan shouted coldly. An enormous pressure rushed out of the interrealm passage and swept towards Su Chen. Su Chen allowed the pressure to come at him, but his expression was stern and fearless. He said calmly, "I wanted to leave earlier, but you came to threaten me. I'm very unhappy now." "What do you want?" asked the holy lord of the beast tamer clan. "It's very simple." Su Chen curled his lips and said mockingly, "Kneel down and call me grandpa, and I'll forgive you." Chapter 378. As soon as he said that, the entire place fell into an eerie silence. Even Ta Mu was dumbfounded. Su Chen's arrogance had completely exceeded his imagination. Their holy lord was at the peak of level 9, while Su Chen was only at level 4. Who gave him the courage? Who gave him the courage to be so unscrupulous? Moreover, he had humiliated their holy lord in front of so many members of the beast tamer clan. Even if he were to die 10,000 times, he would not be able to atone for his sins. "Holy Lord, please let us kill this arrogant person." Ta Mu and the other members of the beast tamer clan were agitated. They swore to kill Su Chen to protect their holy lord's dignity. The holy lord of the beast tamer clan could no longer suppress his anger. He said sternly, "Kill! Kill!" In an instant, all the members of the beast tamer clan charged towards Su Chen with bloodshot eyes. "You overestimate yourself." Su Chen snorted coldly. After infusing the ice element magic into the enchanted sword, he swung his sword horizontally. A white torrent swept over, and a terrifying chill spread throughout the area. The temperature in the area dropped rapidly. It was as if they had suddenly entered a world of ice. Everything, including the air, froze. Ta Mu and the other members of the beast tamer clan were the first to bear the brunt of the impact. After being submerged by the white torrent, they turned into ice sculptures one by one. Seeing this, the holy lord of the beast tamer clan's eyelids twitched. Su Chen was only at level 4, but the ice element magic that he had released was above level 6. He found it unbelievable. At the same time, he also realized that Su Chen was definitely a rare cultivation genius in the world. In the future, when he grew up, he would become a top existence among all clans. Damn it! The holy lord of the beast tamer clan was surrounded by a violent aura. His eyes were burning with anger. If Su Chen continued to grow, he would definitely become a great enemy of the beast tamer clan in the future. At this moment, he wished he could kill Su Chen with one hand. However, there was nothing he could do with the interworld passage between them. He could only bury this murderous intent deep in his heart. At the same time, the remaining members of the Imperial Beast clan were caught in a dilemma. The deaths of Ta Mu and the other clansmen made them deeply feel Su Chen's strength, and they instinctively felt a trace of fear. However, the Divine Lord was watching them from the other side of the passageway. If they were afraid and didn't move forward, they would also incur the wrath of the Holy Master. The only outcome would be death. "What are you waiting for? Kill him!" The Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe shouted angrily when he saw his subordinates standing there in a daze. Under the heavy pressure, the remaining beast-tamers could only brace themselves and attack Su Chen. "Satoshi, do it!" Su Chen roared. There were more than 1,000 beast-tamers left. In order to end the battle quickly, he asked the intelligent war chariot to help him. The intelligent chariot received the order and quickly released the magnetic storm net. Powerful electric currents intertwined and turned into a giant blue net, covering the beast tamers who were flying over. Su Chen also made his move at this moment, punching out in the air. Whoosh whoosh, as the fist wind whistled, 100 golden fist shadows appeared in the air and landed on the beast tamers. Rumble, amidst the earth-shattering collisions, the beast tamers wailed in agony. More than half of them were killed in an instant. The remaining few beast tamers broke down completely. At this moment, they couldn't care less about the Holy Lord's order. They turned around and fled toward the interworld passage. Naturally, Su Chen wouldn't let them escape. He chased after them and bombarded them with spells, killing them all. Chapter 379. Seeing this, the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe was stunned. He mumbled, "He's an all-elemental psychic." Previously, Su Chen had taken turns to use spells of various elements. His identity as an all-elemental psychic was obvious. Although the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe was at the pinnacle of leveling, he was still extremely shocked when he saw this. He had cultivated for thousands of years. What kind of genius had he not seen? But a freak like Su Chen was something he had never heard of before. Even those who had surpassed level 10 at Su Chen's age would not have achieved as much as Su Chen. They would not even be 1/10 of what Su Chen had achieved. Those who had surpassed level 10, which one of them was not a person with extraordinary talent. But compared to Su Chen, he seemed to be overshadowed a lot. Furthermore, the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe had also observed that Su Chen was not only a psychic, but also a powerful evolver. Level 4 all-elemental psychic, level 4 evolver, less than 20 years old. However, all of this had happened to a weak human. What an unimaginable thing this was. At the same time, the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe felt a deep sense of defeat. Originally, with his talent, even if he was not as talented as those who had surpassed level 10, he could still be considered one of the top 10,000. But the talent that Su Chen displayed completely shattered this trace of pride of his. There was no harm without comparison. At this moment, the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe felt like he was being tortured by thousands of spells. His heart was filled with bitterness. Outside the interworld passage, Su Chen had already started to pick up the shards. Wu Yang and the others also got down from the car and started to dig for the energy stones. Su Chen had arranged for the mechanical soldiers to guard the interworld passage to prevent the beast-taming tribe from sending out more powerhouses. This time, they had killed more than 2,000 people from the beast-taming tribe and mutated beasts. 700 to 800 shards had dropped. The drop rate was quite high. Su Chen's face was filled with smiles as he continued to pick up the shards. As for the Holy Lord of the beast-taming tribe, he did not have the time to care about him. In any case, it was not like the other party could come out. No matter how high his cultivation was or how powerful he was, there was nothing he could do. The Sacred Lord of the beast-taming clan was in a trance for a while, but he finally came back to his senses. Immediately, he arranged for his subordinates to summon some of the level 5 powerhouses from the clan. Su Chen's talent made him feel a deep fear. He decided to eliminate Su Chen at all costs to prevent future troubles. Because the realm passage had yet to be stabilized, the highest level that could enter and leave was level 5. A level 5 practitioner would never be a match for Su Chen. He knew this very well. He would not stupidly send out a few level 5 cultivators to deal with Su Chen. He wanted to use the human wave tactic and send out 20 level 5 cultivators at once. In his opinion, even if it was 20 to 1, they could still stack Su Chen to death. An hour later, all the fragments had been collected. However, the smile on Su Chen's face never disappeared. The reason was that this time, a purple gold fragment had dropped. As a result, the total number of energy points had reached more than 5,000. Items like the Blade of Consciousness and Shenyuan Divine Sword could now be exchanged. However, considering that he still had the 10,000 lights killing technique, Disillusionment Blaze Feather Divine Dragon, and Time Accelerator, he resisted the urge to exchange for them. After a while, he took out the Universal Oven and started to grill the beast-taming tribe's mount right under the nose of the Sacred Lord of the beast-taming tribe. This undoubtedly made the Sacred Lord of the beast-taming tribe gnash his teeth in anger. He muttered in his heart, "Kid, I'll let you be arrogant for a while. I'll skin you alive later." Chapter 380. The first beast tamer that rushed out was 2 meters tall. His arms were thicker than an adult's thighs. His muscles were bulging and seemed to contain explosive power. Just by looking at his figure, this guy was a lot thicker than Sherdaniu. As soon as this person appeared, he threw a punch at the mechanical soldier. The mechanical soldier was fearless as it raised its sword to meet the attack. A loud bang was heard. However, the mechanical soldier was sent flying by a punch. "Ah, you want to fight me with a mere level 4 puppet? You're overestimating yourself." Kuei Shan laughed wildly, his face full of arrogance. This mechanical soldier quickly got up from the ground and was about to rush up to fight again, but it was stopped by Su Chen. "Captain Wu, you guys go to the car first." Su Chen ordered as he looked at Kuei Shan. His eyes narrowed. He could see that Kuei Shan was a level 5 evolved being. Although the mechanical soldier was only level 4, it had the ability to fight against a level 5 evolved being. The reason why it was defeated was because Kuei Shan's strength was too strong. It was far beyond the limit of a level 5 evolved being. After Wu Yang and the rest got into the car, Su Chen laughed. "Big guy, do you think you can show off in front of me with your strength? You think too much." Hearing this, Kuei Shan's eyes flashed with a cold light, and he exhaled a breath of air through his nostrils. He might not be the strongest among the level 5 evolved humans, but his strength was the strongest. He was not inferior to a level 6 evolved human. He was known as the strongest man among the beast tamers. This was something he had always been proud of. He never thought that the lowly human in front of him dared to mock his strength. This was something he could not tolerate. "Kid, you'll have to pay for your arrogance. Today, I'll show you what true strength is." As soon as he finished speaking, Kuei Shan pounced on Su Chen like a ferocious beast. Along the way, the ground trembled as he stepped on it. Sand and pebbles flew everywhere. Seeing this, the corners of Su Chen's mouth curled slightly, and a trace of disdain appeared. "Die!" Rushing in front of Su Chen, Kuei Shan clenched his big fist and smashed it down. The disdainful expression on Su Chen's face clearly fell into his eyes, causing the fury in his heart to reach its peak. He vowed to kill Su Chen with a single punch to relieve the anger in his heart. Just as the fist was about to hit his face, Su Chen made his move. He gently extended his palm and firmly caught Kuei Shan's fist. His fist, which had been like a hot knife through butter, had completely stopped at this moment. Kuei Shan's jaw dropped, his face filled with confusion. He felt that the scene in front of him was unreal. He was the strongest man in the Imperial Beast clan, and his strength was comparable to a level 6 evolver. Why was he unable to move this weak human in front of him? Was it an illusion? Or was this human's strength far beyond his imagination? Why do I feel like he's not a human, but a majestic, mighty mountain? At this moment, Kuei Shan's heart was in turmoil. He felt extremely small and insignificant. The strength that he had always been proud of was not worth mentioning in front of Su Chen. Competing with Su Chen in strength was like an ant trying to shake a tree. "Now you know that you're a frog at the bottom of a well, right?" Su Chen's lips curled into a creepy smile. Then he lifted Kuei Shan with one hand and smashed him on the ground like a dead dog. Chapter 382. There was a loud boom. Kuei Shan's gigantic body was buried deep into the ground. Only his head was left outside. At this moment, his eyes were empty and his face was blank. It was as if he had fallen into a stupor. Su Chen looked down and snorted. Then, under everyone's gaze, he stepped on Kuei Shan's head. Then, a dazzling purple light shone from Kuei Shan's corpse. Su Chen did not pick it up immediately. Instead, he looked at the rest of the beast tamers. When their eyes met Su Chen's, the hearts of the remaining 19 members of the beast tamer clan trembled. Although they were all level 5, their levels were higher than Su Chen's, and they had the advantage in numbers. Logically speaking, they should have been able to crush Su Chen. However, Su Chen's strength was definitely not as simple as level 4. Kuei Shan, who was known as the strongest man in the beast tamers, was killed without even causing a ripple. How terrifying was Su Chen's strength? How powerful would he be? Facing such a strong opponent, the beast tamers had to be cautious. On the other side of the interworld passage, the sacred leader of the beast tamers flew into a rage when he saw his subordinates being intimidated by Su Chen. He roared, "You bunch of idiots, attack together and kill him." The strength that Su Chen displayed made him fearful again. He knew very well that in a one-on-one situation, none of his level 5 subordinates would be a match for him. If he wanted to kill Su Chen, there was only one way, and that was to gang up on him. The group of beast tamers could clearly feel the sacred lord's rage. At this moment, they did not hesitate and rushed towards Su Chen one after another. The 19 level 5 cultivators joined forces and their killing intent soared to the sky. The pressure they gave off was incomparably heavy. Wu Yang and the rest on the intelligent chariot were shocked. Their breathing almost stopped. Could Su Chen continue to be invincible in the face of so many powerhouses? Everyone started to worry. Su Chen was still fearless. Although the other party had the advantage in numbers, he was not someone to be trifled with. The heavenly overlord turtle and the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito had not been used yet. However, before that, he had to consider whether his opponent had the qualifications to make him use these two trump cards. Just as the beasts were about to reach him, Su Chen grasped the enchanted divine sword and slowly infused his ice magic into it. Before the saber could be slashed out, an invisible force suddenly came crashing down on him. Level 5 Spirit Reader Master. Su Chen's eyelids jumped. Immediately after, he released his mental power and entangled it with his opponent's mental power. His spiritual power was only at level 4. Logically speaking, he should not be a match for a level 5 spiritual power. However, with the ancient god-fiend body, he had a certain degree of resistance. With the two of them working together, the other party's level 5 mental strength couldn't do anything to him. Level 4 spiritual power. He's also a level 4 spirit reader. Among the beasts, a man suddenly exclaimed. He was a little confused. His level was clearly one level higher than Su Chen. Why couldn't he cause any harm to Su Chen? When the holy leader of the beasts heard this, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. At this moment he finally knew that Su Chen Ran was a full-time cultivator, and she had reached level 4 in all of her skills. He couldn't imagine how there could be such a demonic existence in the world. "Kill him at all costs," the holy leader of the beasts roared. After knowing that Su Chen was a full-time cultivator, his desire to kill Su Chen became even more urgent. Chapter 383. A member of the Beast Tamer clan wielding a machete charged towards Su Chen from the side and swung his machete across his waist. Su Chen had already sensed it. A purple light flashed beneath his feet, and he disappeared from where he stood. He was as fast as a ghost. He was much faster than a level 5 evolved being. The member of the Beast Tamer clan with the machete missed. His heart skipped a beat. But at this time, Su Chen had already appeared behind him, and the enchanted sword in his hand was raised high. "Watch out!" The other members of the Beast Tamer clan rushed over to help, but it was too late. There was a slashing sound. Su Chen raised his machete and chopped off the head of the member of the Beast Tamer clan. "Human, you deserve to die." A member of the Beast Tamer clan wielding a giant axe was enraged. He swung the giant axe in his hand towards Su Chen. At the same time, another 4 members of the Beast Tamer clan came from the side. They had already surrounded Su Chen in the middle. Su Chen still did not panic. He swept the enchanted magic saber forward, and the horrible ice attribute cold air swept forward. The 5 members of the Beast Tamer clan who were charging towards Su Chen turned into 5 ice sculptures in an instant. Not only did they lose their ability to move, but their lives were also extinguished. "I'll suppress him. You guys hurry up and do it." Seeing Su Chen kill 5 members of the Beast Tamer clan in one move, a hunchbacked member of the Beast Tamer clan shouted. He then raised his hand and shot out a scorching fireball. The remaining members of the Beast Tamer clan were shocked. They rushed towards Su Chen again. They all knew that even if the level 5 fireball technique could not kill Su Chen, it could still make Su Chen panic. They could use this opportunity to kill Su Chen in one fell swoop. Su Chen snorted in the face of the fireball technique flying towards him. His palm glowed with a golden light, and he raised his hand to grab the fireball. What is he trying to do? Su Chen's action stunned all the members of the Beast Tamer clan. Even a level 6 evolver would choose to avoid the might of a level 5 fireball. On the other hand, Su Chen was only a level 4 evolver, yet he chose to fight head-on. Wasn't that just courting death? At the thought of this, all of the Beast Tamers were excited. He seemed to have foreseen the scene where Su Chen was about to be seriously injured by the explosion. However, the scene that appeared in the next moment left them dumbfounded. Su Chen grabbed the fireball with one hand and clenched his fist, causing the fireball to explode. Although the fireball was crushed, the power it released was still not to be underestimated. However, what was inconceivable was that Su Chen was not injured at all. Only some ashes remained on his fingers. What was going on? Was the level 5 fireball a fake? Or was his physical body so strong that he could ignore level 5 spells? The people from the Beast Tamer clan, who had planned to take the opportunity to kill Su Chen, stopped and looked at each other. Su Chen's might completely intimidated them. If he could ignore level 5 spells, wouldn't that make him an unkillable cockroach? If they continued to fight him, wouldn't they be giving up their lives for nothing? A bunch of trash. Su Chen snorted in disdain. Then, his gaze fell on the hunchbacked member of the Beast Tamer clan. He said calmly, "I'll let you have a taste of the real fireball technique." As soon as he finished speaking, he waved his hand, and a fireball the size of a fist shot out. From the looks of it, this fireball was no different from an ordinary level 4 fireball technique. However, the fire magic wave it contained was abnormally terrifying. It had completely surpassed the power of a level 5 fireball technique. It gave people a feeling of fear and trepidation. What level is this fireball technique at? The hunchbacked member of the Beast Tamer clan widened his eyes in shock. Chapter 384. The hunchbacked Beast Tamer seemed to have sensed his impending death. He gritted his teeth and unleashed a fireball of his own. In the blink of an eye, the two fireballs collided. With a loud bang, sparks flew in all directions. The stooped Beast Tamer was sent flying by a scorching wave of air. After landing, half of his body was charred black. A Dharma psychic's physique was only slightly stronger than an ordinary person's. After suffering such a heavy injury, there was no way he could survive. Seeing his subordinates being slaughtered one by one before his eyes, the Holy Lord of the Imperial Beast tribe roared at the sky, "Human, I will never let you go. Attack, you must kill him." The remaining Beast Tamers were terrified by Su Chen's terrifying strength. But since the Holy Lord had spoken, they could only muster up a bit of courage and continue to charge at Su Chen. Su Chen's bright eyes swept across. Suddenly, a golden light appeared on his wrist. Then, a figure the size of a small mountain appeared in front of him. At this moment, Su Chen summoned the Heavenly Overlord Tortoise. There were still 13 Beast Tamers left. With his strength, he could have killed them all, but it would have taken some time. He might as well use his trump card and end the battle quickly. He could also use this opportunity to test the Heavenly Overlord Tortoise's combat power after leveling up. This is a level 6 mutated beast. The moment the Heavenly Overlord Tortoise appeared, it released its aura without holding back. The Beast Tamers were shocked beyond words. At this moment, they felt a deep sense of helplessness. Su Chen alone was enough to make them unable to fight back. Now that there was another level 6 mutated beast to help them, how could they fight this battle? They would probably be crushed to death in a single blow. "Little Ba, kill them," Su Chen whispered while the Beast Tamers were still in shock. "Yes, Master." The Heavenly Overlord Tortoise raised its head and shot out a water arrow technique. Although the water arrow technique was not as powerful as the other techniques, a level 6 one was much more powerful. The terrifying magical waves contained within almost scared the Beast Tamers out of their wits. "Let's attack together." At the moment of life and death, the Beast Tamers staked everything on a single throw and launched an attack at the water arrow technique. The combined attack of more than a dozen level 5 evolvers was not to be underestimated. They were barely able to block the water arrow technique. Roar! The Heavenly Overlord Tortoise roared furiously. As a level 6 mutated beast, It had its own dignity. Moreover, in front of Su Chen, he had failed to kill a group of level 5 ants in one hit. Where would he put his face? What would Su Chen, the master, think of it? Therefore, no matter what, he had to crush this group of ants in front of him. This time, the heavenly overlord tortoise did not use the water arrow technique. Instead, it rushed to the beast tamer clansman and slapped him. As a level 6 mutated beast with a body as large as a small mountain, the strength of this slap was immense. There was a loud bang. The 3 beastmasters couldn't dodge in time and were smashed to the ground, smashing into 3 piles of meat paste. F***CK. The level 5 telekinesis master who was the furthest away screamed in fear and turned to flee. The physique of a telekinesis master was weak to begin with. If the giant tortoise caught up to him, he would probably die with just a light touch. Su Chen had been ambushed by this telekinesis master before. How could he let him escape? He raised his hand and a golden light flashed on his wrist. A blood-red mosquito the size of a fist flew out. It was the super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito. Xiaojin, kill that guy, Su Chen said in a low voice as he pointed at the level 5 telekinesis master. Buzz buzz. The super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito flapped its wings violently and turned into a red flash as it chased after him. Chapter 385. A scream echoed in the air. The super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito had pinned the level 5 spirit reader to the ground. It stuck its long needle into his neck and sucked hard, turning him into a pile of dried meat. Chen Gu has such a powerful mosquito as his spiritual pet. Yang Hao was shocked. Wu Yang and the others were also shocked. Although Su Chen's spiritual pet was only a mosquito, it was powerful. They had all seen it with their own eyes. What a terrifying insect beast. Seeing a mosquito kill a level 5 spirit reader in the blink of an eye, the rest of the beast tamers broke down and fled in all directions. Kill! Su Chen shouted coldly and chased after them. The dark heavenly overlord tortoise, mechanical soldier, and super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito did not want to be left behind. They followed closely behind Su Chen and joined in the chase. In less than a minute, the rest of the beast tamers were all killed. Seeing his subordinates being slaughtered, the holy lord of the beast tamers on the other side of the interworld passage trembled slightly. He had a complicated expression on his face. A total of 20 level 5 cultivators were killed so easily? Even though he had seen it with his own eyes, he still felt a little dazed. After a long while, the holy lord of the beast tamers recovered from his shock. He gritted his teeth and muttered, "If we don't get rid of this kid, he'll definitely become a threat to all clans." The talent and strength that Su Chen had shown could not even be described as monstrous. He was not even 20 years old, but he was already a level 4 full-time cultivator and an all-elemental psychic master. In addition, he had spells that far exceeded those of the same level, a strong physical body, terrifying secret fist techniques, immeasurable physical strength, and a powerful spiritual pet. These were only what Su Chen had shown. As for whether Su Chen had held back his strength, the holy lord of the beast tamers did not know and did not want to guess. After all, there was a limit to a person's tolerance. Even if his cultivation had reached level 9, it was inevitable. On the other side, Su Chen put the dark sky overlord tortoise and the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito into the pet breeding space and began to pick up the fragments. They had killed a total of 20 members of the beast tamer clan and obtained 50 fragments. This meant that the higher the level of the foreign race killed, the higher the chance of a fragment dropping. The first fragment that Su Chen picked up was a purple fragment. Picked up, Atlas Incarnation Technique, Fragment *1, 100. The fragment is not full, so it cannot be used. It can be exchanged for energy points. After saying that, Su Chen opened the Doomsday Mall and checked the exchange points for Atlas Avatar Technique. When he saw that it was 10,000 energy points, his heart skipped a beat. Something that could be exchanged for points like the ancient god-fiend body naturally wouldn't be that bad. Su Chen was also looking forward to the Atlas Shapeshifting Technique. However, there were too many things that were waiting to be exchanged, and he didn't know what to choose. So far, he needed to spend 10,000 energy points to exchange for the 10,000 lights 10 shadows killing technique, illusionary blazing feather divine dragon, 5 elements thunder purgatory formation, chaotic sky-splitting sword, and time accelerator. As for the things that required 5,000 energy points, there were even more. Su Chun pondered for a while and decided not to dwell on this matter. Anyway, he had less than 10,000 energy points, and it wouldn't be too late to study it when he had enough. Chapter 386. After a while, Su Chun continued to pick up the fragments. The remaining fragments were not very valuable, so he exchanged them all for energy points. After picking up the fragments, Su Chun used an upgrade gem to raise the level of the mechanical soldier to level 5. The few level 5 energy gems that he had obtained before were also installed on the mechanical soldier. At this point, other than the 3 mutated wolves, the other 2 spiritual pets and the mechanical soldier were all higher level than him. However, in terms of actual combat power, even a level 6 heavenly overbearing turtle would not be a match for him. Su Chun still had this bit of confidence. Next, he started to roast the meat again. The reason why he did this was not because he was hungry, but because he wanted to anger the holy lord of the beast-taming tribe and see if he could lure out more people from the beast-taming tribe. Unfortunately, this trick was no longer effective. 20 level 5 cultivators had died at once. Even with the foundation of the beast-taming tribe, it was still a bit of a loss. The holy lord of the beast-taming tribe had suffered a loss once, so he did not even care and turned to leave. He could not do anything to Su Chun if he continued to stay here, and he was still being teased by Su Chun. He was angry for no reason, so he might as well not grieve over. There would be no more beast-taming tribe members in the Interrealm Passage, so there was no point in staying here. After hurriedly eating some roasted meat, Su Chun decided to leave. However, before that, the Interrealm Passage still had to be blown up. He had once blown up an Interrealm Passage connected to the half-beast tribe in Etienne City. At that time, the destructive power generated could even flatten a mountain. Once the Interrealm Passage was blown up, half of Tongtian City would be destroyed. Su Chun hesitated for a moment, but finally decided to blow up the Interrealm Passage. This was because he would not stay here forever. After he left, the people of the beast-taming tribe would definitely come out again. The people of the beast-taming tribe were bloodthirsty. When that time came, the destructive power caused would be far greater than the price of destroying half of the city. After making up his mind, Su Chun first let Wu Yang and the others get into the car and leave Tongtian City. Half an hour later, Su Chun estimated that the intelligent war chariot was about to leave the city. He began to continuously release the thunderstorm spell to bombard the boundary passage. After 7 or 8 consecutive attacks, the interdomain passageway collapsed. There was a loud explosion. Like a nuclear bomb exploding, a terrifying energy wave swept out in all directions. Some of the nearby buildings were turned into dust in the blink of an eye. Seeing this, Su Chun activated speed boots and ran out of the city. 10 minutes later, Su Chun ran out of Heaven Connect City. Outside the city, tens of thousands of humans were fleeing for their lives. They were as densely packed as ants. Su Chun could imagine that without the protection of Clear Sky City, very few of these people could survive. In the post-apocalyptic world, the rules of survival were cruel. Don't expect anyone to help you. Only by becoming strong would you have a chance to survive. Su Chun glanced around and did not think too much. He then found the intelligent war chariot and left. After leaving Heaven Connect City, Su Chen's gaze fell on the central control screen and began to search for the whereabouts of zombies and mutated beasts. However, unfortunately, there were no red dots on the central control screen. Instead, less than 20 miles away, there were more than a dozen blue dots. Satoshi, go find those humans. Su Chen ordered. Since there were no signs of zombies nearby, he planned to ask those people. Perhaps he would gain something. With the current speed of the intelligent war chariot, it would only take a few minutes to cover the distance of 20 miles. Chapter 387. When they arrived, Su Chen opened the door and got out of the car. There were two MCVs opposite. Beside the MCV, there were more than a dozen people surrounding an old man. Su Chen glanced at them casually and raised his eyebrows. He chuckled and said, "Uncle, we are really fated to meet. We meet again here." The old man who was surrounded was none other than the white-haired old man whom he had met a few times and whom he thought was crazy. Hearing this, the dozen or so people frowned slightly and looked at Su Chen in unison. The white-haired old man who was surrounded was ecstatic and shouted, "Senior, save me, they are from Lion's Gate." If it was in the past, he would have run away when he saw Su Chen. But this time, he was surrounded and could lose his life at any time. The only person he could count on was Su Chen. Of course, he did not have a deep friendship with Su Chen. He was not sure if Su Chen would save him. But he had to try. People from Lion's Gate? Su Chen's face darkened. A few days ago, he killed the leader of Lion's Gate, Li Zhantan. It could be said that he and Lion's Gate were like fire and water. Of course, he would not let go of these people from Lion's Gate in front of him. "Why are they making things difficult for you?" Su Chen raised his voice and asked. Although he did not have much contact with the white-haired old man, he knew that he was a timid and cautious person. Logically speaking, he would never have the guts to offend Lion's Gate. "Senior, they want to ask me about your whereabouts." The white-haired old man hurriedly explained. Recently, he had met Su Chen several times and was mistaken by the people from Lion's Gate that he had a close relationship with Su Chen. They wanted to pry Su Chen's whereabouts from him. But he knew nothing. For a killer like Su Chen, he could not wait to hide. How could he know his whereabouts? "It's him." The faces of the people from Lion's Gate turned ugly. From the white-haired elder's words, they had already learned of Su Chen's identity. He was the peerless expert who had killed their sect master. At this moment, everyone's heart began to be on edge. A man's name is like the shadow of a tree. In recent days, Su Chen's name was very well known. Wherever he went, he would kill. The number of famous experts who had died in his hands was more than a handful. Facing such a murderous god, how could they not be afraid? The reason he was investigating Su Chen's whereabouts was not because he wanted to kill Su Chen. Instead, it was because he had received orders from the Flying Feather race, so he had no choice but to do so. "Are you here to avenge Li Zhantian?" The corners of Su Chen's mouth twitched as he mocked them. Upon hearing this, the people at Lion's Gate swallowed their saliva. "Revenge? Don't joke around. We're just a bunch of ants in your eyes. I'm afraid we're not even enough to be crushed by your finger. Even if you lent us 10 guts, we wouldn't dare to do so." However, they all knew that the young man in front of them had a deep grudge against Lion's Gate. No matter how eloquent he was, he would not let them off. Knowing this, they looked at each other before turning around and fleeing in all directions. Su Chen snorted coldly and shot out a few spells, killing all of them. The white-haired elder at the side clicked his tongue and thought to himself, "He's indeed a peerless murderous god. Wherever he goes, there's bound to be death." After killing the people at Lion's Gate, Su Chen turned to the white-haired elder and asked, "Uncle, I'd like to ask you something." "Senior, feel free to ask me anything," the white-haired elder replied respectfully. Su Chen rubbed his nose. He addressed the elder as uncle, but the elder addressed him as senior. Their relationship was a little messy. However, he was not too bothered. He asked, "Are there any zombies or mutated beasts nearby?" Chapter 388. The nearest city is Yulan City. There are more than 10,000 zombies there. The old man thought for a moment and replied. Su Chen's eyes lit up. 10,000 zombies was definitely worth the effort. After a while, he bid farewell to the old man and returned to the intelligent war chariot and left. The old man stood there and sighed. He's not going to kill zombies, is he? There were more than 10,000 zombies in Yulan City, and many of them were high-leveled. Even the major forces wouldn't dare to provoke them. Su Chen dared to kill zombies with just a few people? However, when he thought of the recent rumors, he understood. It was rumored that Su Chen ran amok in Yulan. Wherever he went, there were corpses everywhere. Moreover, the people he killed weren't nobodies. Sky Connect City, Lionsgate, and the Hidden Fog sect all had experts who died at the hands of Su Qin. Even the leader of Lionsgate, Li Zhantin, died at his hands. From this, it could be seen how powerful Su Qin was. He didn't even care about the three major forces, let alone Yulan City. On the other side, Su Qin stared at the central control screen, looking for the location of Yulan City. Soon, the central control screen showed the exact location of Yulan City. It was about 2,000 miles away from where he was. With the speed of the intelligent war chariot, he would arrive in about 4 hours. In addition, Su Qin also found that the Hidden Fog sect was less than 100 miles away from Yulan City. Moreover, to reach Yulan City, he had to go through the Hidden Fog sect first. The enmity between him and the Hidden Fog sect was very deep. He had killed many people from the Hidden Fog sect. Moreover, ever since he found out that the venerable carved dragon had a relationship with the Green Turtle tribe, he had wanted to meet this guy. On this trip to Yulan City, he could make a trip to the Hidden Fog School first. Behind him, the intelligent war chariot drove straight to the Hidden Fog sect. On the way, Su Qin spent a lot of energy stones to upgrade the intelligent war chariot to level 4. From now on, only zombies above level 5 could threaten it. Then, he opened the planting dimension to check on the essence fruit tree. Ever since the essence fruit tree was planted, it had grown well. The luster of its leaves was much brighter than before. Even the spiritual fluctuations it emitted were abnormally strong. Su Qin nodded and asked the longevity fruit tree, "Xiaoshou, how long will it take for the essence fruit tree to bear fruit?" Consuming the fruit of the essence fruit tree could increase his spirit power. He was especially concerned about this, so he naturally hoped that it would bear fruit soon. "Master, the essence fruit tree is still in its infancy. Only after it has developed intelligence will it begin to bear fruit," the longevity fruit tree explained. Hearing this, Su Qin's brows furrowed deeply. He had a vague feeling that it would take a long time, so he asked, "How long will it take?" "The environment here is very good. It should take less than a year," the longevity fruit tree said with uncertainty. 1 year was not a long time, but Su Qin did not have the time to wait. Among his 3 major professions, Spirit Reader Master was the weakest, and he couldn't wait to improve his spiritual power. After pondering for a while, he suddenly thought of the Time Accelerator. The Time Accelerator required 10,000 energy points to exchange for, so it must be something very powerful. From the name, it should be able to accelerate the flow of time. If he used it on the essence fruit tree, wouldn't it be able to grow faster? And then bear a large number of essence fruits? The more Su Qin thought about it, the more excited he became. Originally, he had planned to exchange for the Time Accelerator last, but now he changed his mind. He decided to exchange for the Time Accelerator when he had 10,000 energy points. Chapter 389. After a while, Su Qin closed the planting space and closed his eyes to rest. After about an hour, the intelligent war chariot suddenly warned, "Master, there are traces of alien creatures and zombies ahead." Su Qin's heart moved. He opened his eyes and looked at the central control screen. In a place called the Long Valley Mountain Range, there were a large number of red, blue, and black dots gathered. There were more than 10,000 of them. Human beings, zombies, and aliens gathered together. Something big must have happened in the Long Valley Mountain Range. "Satoshi, go to the Long Valley Mountain Range," Su Qin ordered. No matter what happened there would always be a large number of zombies and aliens. If he killed them all, he could get a lot of fragments. The intelligent war vehicle received the order and accelerated toward the Long Valley Mountain Range. Half an hour later, they arrived in front of a continuous mountain range. At this time, at the foot of a mountain, many forces were gathered. There were a large group of human beings, zombies, aliens, and even mutant beasts. Moreover, from the looks of it, all parties seemed to be in a standoff. When Su Qin was about to go and take a look, he saw a MCV rushing toward him. "Satoshi, stop that MCV." Su Qin saw clearly that the MCV came from many forces. They must know what happened, and he could ask them about it. The MCV was blocked by the intelligent war vehicle. In order to avoid a collision, it braked suddenly. Then, a middle-aged man with a red beard got out of the MCV. As soon as the man got out of the car, he shouted angrily at the intelligent war vehicle, "Who are you? Why are you blocking our way?" "Sorry, uncle." Su Chen got out of the car, greeted the red-bearded man, and then explained, "I want to ask you something." Because he took the initiative to stop the man, this kind of behavior was too abrupt, so his tone was very polite. Seeing that Su Chen's attitude was not bad, the red-bearded man sighed and said, "I'm in a hurry." "What's the matter? Hurry up." "What happened in front? Why are there so many forces gathered here?" Su Chen asked bluntly. The red-bearded man hesitated for a moment before finally saying, "A level 5 power stone has appeared in one of the peaks of the Long Valley mountain range. The people of these large factions are currently discussing how to divide it." "A level 5 energy stone." Su Chen's eyes immediately lit up. A level 5 energy stone was something that could only be found by chance. Its value was immeasurable, and it was something that he desperately needed right now. The intelligent war chariot was currently at level 4. If he wanted to upgrade it to level 5, he would have to use level 5 energy stones or power stones. When he found out that there was a level 5 energy stone here, he decided that the level 5 energy stone had to belong to him. "I don't care what kind of power you are or what kind of expert you are. If you don't know what's good for you, I'll kill you on the spot." Forcing himself to be excited, Su Chen continued to ask, "Uncle, what forces are up ahead?" The red-bearded man's expression changed slightly, and he said in a low voice, "Apart from the Hidden Fog Sect, Burial Sky City, and Kongdong Mountain Range, there are many other forces." Speaking of this, he secretly looked at Su Chen. Seeing that Su Chen did not seem to care, he kindly reminded him, "It's very dangerous up ahead. If you want to live, you must not go there." "Thank you for the reminder, uncle." Su Chen smiled and then asked, "Which force does Burial Sky City belong to?" He knew about the Hidden Fog Sect and Kongdong Mountain Range, but it was the first time that he had heard of Burial Sky City. Burial Sky City is a force of zombies, and there is an abnormally powerful zombie there. It leads an army of millions of zombies in Yulin, the red-bearded man explained with a serious expression. Chapter 390. In Yulin, the only one who could command millions of zombies was the Black Cloud Emperor. Su Chen had already heard about this from Do Wei in Jaina City. After figuring out what was going on, Su Chen greeted the red-bearded man and returned to the intelligent chariot. How dare he go there? Seeing that Su Chen didn't listen to his advice and went straight to the Long Valley Mountains, the red-bearded man was a little stunned. In his opinion, there were many powerful forces gathered in front of them. Wasn't he looking for death by going in at this time? He's still too young. The red-bearded man shook his head and sighed. He returned to the MCV and was about to leave. On the MCV, an old man with a red face suddenly said, "Lu Yuan, let's not leave in a hurry. Let's stay and watch the show." Watch the show? The red-bearded man, Lu Yuan, was stunned and asked, "Elder Yu, what show are we watching? I bet that there will be a fight in front. I've long wanted to see the power of that young man." Elder Yu said meaningfully, "Young man?" Lu Yuan was stunned for a moment and quickly reacted. He widened his eyes and said with a trembling voice, "Could it be the young man who asked for the news just now?" Elder Yu nodded heavily. This? Lu Yuan took a deep breath and couldn't help but look at the intelligent chariot that was far away. Recently, the fiercest news in Yulin was the appearance of a peerless man who was respectfully called Killing God. Wherever this powerhouse passed, he would definitely set off a storm of blood. The number of experts who had died in his hands was uncountable. Moreover, these experts were all reputable and influential figures. Top forces like Sky City, Hidden Fog Sect, and Lionsgate all had strong men who died. Moreover, it was said that the level 5 zombie Do Wei of Jaina City was also killed by this man. For a time, the name of this man spread throughout Yulin. It was the hottest topic at the moment. Could it really be him? Lu Yuan swallowed his saliva and felt a lingering fear in his heart. Just now, he had come into close contact with the rumored god of slaughter. It felt like he had just walked through the gates of hell. Elder Yu, how can you be so sure that it's him? Lu Yuan was a little confused. When he was talking with Su Chen just now, Su Chen's words were still very polite. He was completely different from the rumor that he was ferocious. Elder Yu took a deep breath and explained, rumor has it that the strong man is young and handsome, and has a silver-white MCV. Looking at the whole Yulin area, the only one who has this kind of MCV is that strong man. So it really is him. Lu Yuan clicked his tongue. After knowing Su Chen's identity, he didn't want to leave. He wanted to see the peerless might of a true expert. On the other side, the intelligent war chariot slowly drove to the gathering place of the various forces. Since it was just a MCV, it didn't attract the attention of those forces. Su Chen glanced outside and got out of the car alone. At this time, in an open space at the foot of the mountain, there were 10 humans, 1 zombie, and 1 mutant beast. They seemed to be discussing something, and from time to time, there would be a fierce argument. Su Chen wasn't in a hurry to make a move. He walked to one of the human groups and listened carefully. At this time, an old man with silver hair and white beard said loudly, I don't care how many level 5 energy stones there are here. The Hidden Fog sect wants 40% of it. As soon as the silver-haired old man finished speaking, a burly zombie next to him snorted and said disdainfully, Venerable carved dragon, your Hidden Fog sect really dares to ask for too much. Do you think all of us are just decorations? Chapter 391. He's the Venerable Dragon Carving. Su Chen muttered. He had planned to meet the Venerable Dragon Carving, but he didn't expect to meet him here. In front of Su Chen, a young man heard the noise and turned around to look at Su Chen. He said coldly, Who are you? Why did you come to the Hixing gang? Nothing, I just came to take a look, Su Chen replied casually. Seeing that Su Chen didn't take him seriously, the young man's face darkened. He said fiercely, Kid, do you think you can come to the Hixing gang as you please? Unexpectedly, before he could finish, Su Chen glared at him. Suddenly, he felt as if a sharp knife was stabbed into his heart. He felt cold all over and swallowed his words. Su Chen ignored him and continued to look at the Venerable Dragon Carving and the others. Yuan Kunpeng, so you don't want to give face to the Hidden Fog sect? The Venerable Dragon Carving's face darkened. He snorted and looked very unhappy. The burly zombie Yuan Kunpeng curled his lips and said disdainfully, The Hidden Fog sect has the support of the Forgotten Valley, so you do have some strength. You can scare others, but if you want to ride on our buried sky city, you must be dreaming. The Forgotten Valley was one of the 5 superpowers in Yulin, but Buried Sky City had the Black Cloud Emperor, so its overall strength was not below the Forgotten Valley. The Venerable Dragon Carving knew that Yuan Kunpeng had the right to speak, so he said patiently, Then what do you want? Yang Kunpeng cleared his throat and said loudly, If the Hidden Fog sect insists on 40%, I won't object. However, the Buried Sky City also wants 40%. As soon as he said that, the other superpowers' faces darkened. Damn it, the two of you split 80%, and the rest of us have nothing to eat? However, due to their lack of strength, they didn't dare to say anything. Suddenly, a 5-meter-long mutant beast that looked like a leopard roared. It was obvious that it was very dissatisfied with the Venerable Dragon Carving and Yuan Kunpeng's distribution plan. If it was an ordinary mutated beast, Venerable Dragon Carving and Yuan Kunpeng wouldn't have bothered. However, the mutant beast in front of him was different. It was a level 5 barbarian leopard. Other than its own strength, the most important thing was that it came from the Kongtong mountain range. It was also one of the 5 great superpowers. Hence, Shifeng had no choice but to be careful when dealing with it. Looks like Brother Leopard isn't satisfied with our distribution plan. Venerable Dragon Carving, how do you think we should distribute it? Yuan Kunpeng knew that Song Manbao was not to be trifled with, so he pushed the problem to the Venerable Dragon Carving. The Venerable Dragon Carving snorted. How could he not know what Yuan Kunpeng was thinking? However, this stalemate couldn't go on forever. He didn't argue with Yuan Kunping and was about to talk about the distribution plan again. Su Chen suddenly opened his mouth. Everyone, I have a good distribution plan. Why don't you listen to me? As soon as these words were spoken, the entire place fell silent. Then, everyone's eyes fell on Su Chen. When they saw that the person who spoke was a very young human, everyone was extremely shocked. Where did this guy who's not afraid of death come from? So many major forces are gathered here. Who gave you the courage to speak up? How dare you boast shamelessly that you have a better distribution plan? Who the hell do you think you are? Do you have the right to speak here? Is this guy's brain rusty? Is he courting death because he can't think straight? Some people had such doubts in their hearts. Just as everyone was staring at Su Chen as if they were looking at a fool, Su Chen shrugged and walked into the open space casually. Judging from his expression, he was as calm as usual, as if he didn't care about the people present at all. There were 3 super forces present right now, and yet this young man before him dared to put on an arrogant look. Isn't he too arrogant? Many people began to criticize him in their hearts. Chapter 392. Kid, who are you? Do you know where this place is? An old man with a goatee stared at Su Chen and questioned him coldly. Everyone present was a powerhouse from the major forces, yet this young man had interfered with them without any hesitation. How daring was he? Even if he wanted to die, he didn't have to be so stubborn. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said calmly, I'm Su Chen from Huanglin District. What? Since when did a young man from Huanglin District become so arrogant? Do you really think this is Huanglin District where birds don't want to shit? When Su Chen announced his name, the group of powerhouses could no longer remain calm. No one noticed that the venerable dragon carving's expression suddenly changed, and it was soon covered by extreme anger. Kid, since you're young and ignorant, we can spare your life if you cripple your arms and legs. The old man with the goatee was disdainful when he heard that Su Chen was from Huanglin District. Su Chen's pupils shrank and he asked softly, How should I address you? The old man with the goatee snorted and said arrogantly, I'm the leader of the Hixing gang, Qing Ran. Su Chen gradually narrowed his eyes, a cold light flashed in his eyes as he snapped, Kneel in front of me, slap yourself 100 times, then cripple your own limbs, and I can forgive you this time. Everyone was in an uproar when they heard what he said. Damn, this guy is too arrogant. This is the first time I've seen such a pretentious person. Are all the people from Huanglin District so brainless? Cheng Ran was not only the leader of the Hixing gang, but he was also a level 4 evolved human. On the other hand, Su Chen was so young. Even if he was an evolved human, he should be at most level 2. How could a level 2 evolved human humiliate a level 4 evolved human? Wasn't this the same as an old man hanging himself? Was he tired of living? Good, very good. Kid, you have guts. Cheng Ran looked ferocious and said while gritting his teeth, I wanted to spare your life, but I've changed my mind. I'll skin you alive. Old bastard, don't try to be brave with your words. Come here if you have the ability. Let's see who will skin who. Su Chen sneered contemptuously. You're courting death. Cheng Ran's mouth twitched. Just as he was about to rush forward to teach Su Chen a lesson, he was interrupted by Yuan Kunping. Old Cheng, don't worry. I have something to ask this kid. After all, Yuan Kunping was from Zhangtian City, and he was also a level 5 zombie. Cheng Ran couldn't afford to offend him, so he could only stop for now. However, he continued to stare at Su Chen with a bone-chilling gaze. Yuan Kunpeng looked at Su Chen with great interest and chuckled. Kid, didn't you say you have a distribution plan? Tell me about it. He had never met a human as arrogant as Su Chen. Therefore, he was very interested in Su Chen and wanted to hear about Su Chen's distribution plan. Su Chen looked around and said loudly, Listen up. My distribution plan is simple. All the level 5 energy stones here belong to me. I'll kill anyone who disagrees. His words were like a clap of thunder. *CK, *CK, arrogant, unscrupulous. This act of pretentiousness could be said to be unprecedented and unparalleled in the future. Almost everyone was dumbfounded by the thunder. The surroundings fell into a strange silence at this moment. After a long time, Yuan Kunpeng swallowed his saliva and said in a low voice, "Kid, are you serious?" Su Chen's arrogance was completely beyond his imagination. He was getting more and more interested in Su Chen. Chapter 393. Nonsense. Do I need to lie to a zombie like you? Su Chen snorted in disdain. Hiss. The sound of people sucking in cold air could be heard all around. What was crazy to the end? What was not seeking death? Su Chen was a classic example. It was true that Yuan Kunpeng was a zombie, but he was a powerful level 5 zombie. Talking to Yuan Kunpeng like that, wasn't he afraid of being slapped to death? Cheng Ran sneered and looked at Su Chen as if he was looking at a dead man. Su Chen had been testing the waters on the edge of death before, but now he was trapped in it. Not only did he offend Cheng Ran, but he also dragged Yuan Kunpeng into it. The consequences were obvious. Ha! Yuan Kunpeng was stunned for a moment, but he was not angry. Instead, he laughed. Kid, you have successfully angered me. I will definitely teach you a lesson. Don't be all talk and no action. Come and fight. Su Chen curled his lips and provoked. Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. Yuan Kunpeng roared, and a violent murderous aura suddenly spread out. Some of the people who were closer to him seemed to be unable to resist and retreated one after another. Just as Yang Kunpeng was about to attack, the venerable dragon carving suddenly said, Yuan Kunpeng, it will not be easy for you to kill this kid. As soon as he said this, everyone present was somewhat dumbfounded. What was going on? Was it difficult for a level 5 zombie to kill a young human? If the venerable dragon carving did not say that, everyone would have scoffed. However, why would the venerable dragon carving say something like that? Everyone present was deeply puzzled. They all looked at the venerable dragon carving and waited for his explanation. The venerable dragon carving did not let them wait for long and said in a deep voice, This kid is the one who has been doing evil in our Yulin area and killed many experts. What? He was the god of death. There were exclamations all around, and then all eyes turned to Su Chen. However, they did not look at Su Chen with contempt like before. Instead, they looked at him with fear. A man's name is like the shadow of a tree. Su Chen had been killing in all directions in Yulin recently. Even China City's level 5 zombie Do Wei and Lionsgate's sect leader Li Zhantian had died in his hands. The strength of his strength could only be described as inconceivable. At this moment, they all came to a realization. It turned out that Su Chen wasn't here to act tough, and he wasn't here to die. He really had the strength to challenge them. Why is it him? Cheng Ran's heart skipped a beat. If he had known that Su Chen was the god of death, he would not have acted like an idiot and provoked him. Now, he regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. He wished he could give himself a tight slap. Yuan Kunpeng's face changed slightly, and his thoughts changed rapidly. He whispered to the venerable dragon carving, Is it really him? If Su Chen was really that god of death, then he really had some lingering fear. Compared to others, he actually knew more. After all, Do Wei was one of them. Others only knew that Do Wei was a level 5 zombie, but he knew that Do Wei had a level 5 fearsome beast by his side. Furthermore, this fearsome beast was more powerful than a level 5 evolved human. However, it had died in Su Chen's hands at the same time. How powerful was Su Chen? It was because he knew this that he was so afraid of Su Chen. The venerable dragon carving did not reply. He only nodded heavily. Seeing this, Yang Kunpeng's face became uncertain. He gritted his teeth and asked, Are you confident that you can kill him? Since Su Chen had killed Do Wei from China City, he had formed a deep grudge with Shentian City. Naturally, he hoped to kill Su Chen. Of course, he also knew that he could not do it alone. What he meant was that he wanted to join forces with the venerable dragon carving and the others. Chapter 394. The venerable dragon carving sage did not answer immediately. Instead, he looked at Song Manbao and asked for his opinion. As a level 5 mutated beast, Song Manbao's strength was not below Yuan Kunpeng's. Only a few of the strongest could reach a consensus and have the confidence to fight Su Chen. Woo woo, Song Manbao nodded and growled. His meaning was clear. He wanted to join forces to deal with Su Chen. Seeing this, the venerable dragon-carving sage was delighted and shouted, "Let's attack together and kill this person." Yang Kunping was the first to attack Su Chen. He held a long black whip covered with thorns and swept it down at Su Chen's head. The others hesitated for a moment and attacked Su Chen at the same time. Facing the siege of many powerhouses, Su Chen was not afraid. He slashed down with his saber, and his first target was Yuan Kunping. A blue torrent shot out and swept toward Yuan Kunping in the blink of an eye. Yuan Kunping's face changed when he felt the terrifying fluctuation of thunder and lightning. He knew very well that it was impossible to avoid this torrent of thunder and lightning. Only by defeating it head-on would he have a chance to survive. Yuan Kunping gritted his teeth and punched the air, colliding with the blue torrent. After a thunderous boom, Yuan Kunping was scorched from head to toe and his life force was completely extinguished. "Damn, he's too strong," everyone exclaimed. Everyone's face was filled with a deep layer of fear. One slash, just one slash, and a level 5 zombie was killed on the spot. Su Chen's powerful strength was vividly displayed. At the same time, Elder Yu and Lu Yuan, who were on the MCV far away, also witnessed the scene. Their bodies trembled at the same time. Obviously, they were shocked by Su Chen's strength. Elder Yu's mouth trembled and he sincerely said, "The killing god is indeed worthy of his reputation. Quickly kill him." The venerable dragon-carving sage suddenly roared. Although he was scared out of his wits by Su Chen's slash, he also noticed that Su Chen had lost his defense when he killed Yuan Kunping. At this moment, several strong people had already rushed towards Su Chen. As long as they seized the opportunity, they could kill or seriously injure Su Chen. "Go to hell." Cheng Ran sneered and waved the slash in his hand, aiming at Su Chen's neck. In addition to him, 2 people came from the side and tried to kill Su Chen at the same time. At this time, Su Chen didn't seem to see it and let the 3 weapons slash at him. Why didn't he dodge? Why not defend himself? Everyone had a deep doubt. The venerable dragon carving was also a little confused. However, no matter what the situation was, as long as he could kill Su Chen, it would be the best outcome. The next moment, the 3 weapons struck Su Chen at the same time. Clang. 3 loud noises resounded. Inconceivably, the expected scene of Su Chen being killed did not happen. Instead, the 3 people's weapons were blown away. This scene was as if the 3 weapons did not hit a human body, but a hard steel plate. Damn, is he still human? Just how strong is his physical body? Even a level 6 evolved human's body is not as strong as his, right? Intense discussions were heard all around. Cheng Ran and the other 2 were level 4 evolutionaries, but they couldn't even hurt Su Chen's skin when the 3 of them attacked together. This kind of thing was too strange and too terrifying. It was completely beyond their understanding. Chapter 395. Cheng Ran was so scared that he almost peed his pants and kept retreating. At this moment he deeply understood that Su Chen could not be killed. Since he could not be killed, there was no point in fighting this battle. "No, I have to get out of here quickly," Cheng Ran thought as he retreated faster and faster. Just as he was about to retreat into the crowd, a mocking voice entered his ears. "You want to escape now? Do you have time?" Oh no. Cheng Ran knew that Su Chen had discovered him. At this time, he did not care about anything else and desperately rushed into the crowd. Su Chen sneered and swept the enchanted divine saber forward. In an instant, a wave of extremely cold qi swept out. Wherever it passed, the temperature between heaven and earth quickly dropped below freezing point, as if they had entered a world of ice and snow. Everything that was covered by the cold air was frozen in the blink of an eye. Nearly 100 experts, including Cheng Ran, were turned into ice sculptures and died on the spot. "Oh my god! He's not a human!" The surrounding onlookers, after witnessing Su Chen's terrifying killing move, had a complete mental breakdown and fled in all directions for their lives. Venerable Dragon Carving and Song Manbao looked at each other and also fled without saying a word. They all knew that Su Chen's strength was not something that could be defeated by human strength. If they did not escape, they would lose their lives. As for those humans who escaped, Su Chen could let them go. However, he would not let go of Venerable Dragon Carving and Song Manbao, as well as some zombies and mutated beasts. Captain Wu, Satoshi, let's do it together. Su Chen shouted. There were more than 1,000 zombies and mutated beasts present. It would be difficult for him to kill all of them alone. The intelligent chariot immediately released a magnetic storm net and shrouded hundreds of zombies. Wu Yang and the others also got out of the chariot and chased after the mutated beasts. Su Chen didn't stay idle either. First, he released his spiritual energy to slow down the barbarian leopard's speed. Then, with a flick of his wrist, a red streak of light shot towards the barbarian leopard. After doing all this, he turned his gaze to the Venerable Dragon Carving and punched from afar. With a whistling sound, fist shadows that filled the sky appeared in midair and smashed directly at the Venerable Dragon Carving. Venerable Dragon Carving, who was running, seemed to have sensed something. When he turned around to look, his heart sank. Immediately after, there was an earth-shattering sound. The Venerable Dragon Carving's figure was drowned by the sky full of fist shadows and was deeply embedded in the soil. In the MCV, Lu Yuan and Li Chia were almost scared to death when they saw this scene. The Pegasus meteor fist released by Su Chen was magnificent and murderous. It could only be described as terrifying. It had completely exceeded the limits of what the two of them could endure. Elder Yu, let's hurry up and leave. Lu Yuan swallowed his saliva and said with a trembling voice. Let's go, let's go. This time, Elder Yu did not hesitate anymore. Although he didn't have any conflict of interest with Su Chen, there was no enmity between them. However, super strong people were often temperamental. If they were not pleasing to the eye, they could kill them with one slap. They didn't dare to stay here and risk their lives. On the other side, the intelligent chariot had already killed all the zombies after a few rounds of magnetic storm nets. Wu Yang and the others had joined forces with the mechanical soldiers and killed more than 90% of the mutated beasts. Only a few managed to escape. As for the level 5 barbarian leopard, it had been sucked dry by the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito. Chapter 396. Su Chen was surprised that the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito could kill Song Manbao in one hit. After all, they were both level 5. Logically speaking, they should be evenly matched. The reason why he could kill Song Manbao was because of the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito's suction needle. The suction needle could be described as indestructible as it easily pierced into Song Manbao's body. Then, it relied on its powerful devouring ability to suck Song Manbao's blood dry. That was how it could kill Song Manbao cleanly. Su Chen acknowledged the combat power of the super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito. Then, he stopped paying attention to other things and started to pick up the shards. Picked up, fusion gem, shard *1. 1 shards full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Su Chen put the fusion gem into his storage bag. Just as he was about to pick up the other shards, he suddenly felt a strong wave of vitality in front of him. It was located in a deep pit not far away. Inside the deep pit was the Venerable Dragon Carving, who had been punched into it. Could it be related to the Venerable Dragon Carving? Su Chen was suspicious. He frowned and walked forward. Suddenly, a figure leaped out of the deep pit. It's you. Su Chen's eyelids twitched. The person who came out was none other than the Venerable Dragon Carving. At this moment, the Venerable Dragon Carving's body was covered in wounds. The strange thing was that the blood flowing out of the wounds was not red, but golden blood. Moreover, as the golden blood flowed, the wounds were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. You have a healing body. Su Chen was shocked. He had seen a healing body on the blood bug in Yangjiapa before. He did not expect the Venerable Dragon Carving to have a healing body too. Kid, you know quite a lot. The Venerable Dragon Carving snorted and said, A healing body can be said to be immortal. Since you know this, do you still want to go against me? Su Chen scoffed. Although the healing physique was awesome, it was still a far cry from the indestructible physique. Undying and indestructible meant that it was truly impossible to kill. As for the body of healing, as long as one used powerful means, it was completely possible to kill it. For example, the Crimson Worm was also a healer, but it was still killed by his spell. Therefore, if the venerable dragon carving wanted to show off in front of him, he was still lacking. Do you think you have the right to challenge me just because you have a healed body? Su Chen sneered. The venerable dragon carving venerable did not get angry and said in a deep voice, I naturally have other means. Even you might not be able to take it. Su Chen rubbed his nose. He didn't know if the venerable dragon carving was exaggerating or if he really had a trump card. However, no matter what it was, he had absolute confidence in himself and was not afraid at all. Old man, I don't care if you are a dragon or a snake. You better obediently coil in front of me. Su Chen coldly snorted. The venerable dragon carving venerable was in cahoots with the green tortoise tribe and had a deep hatred for him. How could he let him off so easily? The venerable dragon carving venerable's face turned cold when he heard that. He gritted his teeth and said, Kid, once I use my true strength, it's definitely not something that you can take. Are you threatening me? Su Chen pouted and said disdainfully, but I really don't take you seriously. Arrogant. The venerable dragon carving venerable was enraged. Today, I'll let you experience what despair is. Chapter 397. As soon as he finished speaking, the venerable dragon carving shook his arms, and thousands of golden rays shot out from his body. It was so bright that Wu Yang and the rest could not even open their eyes. At the same time, his aura was also increasing. When it reached its peak, a terrifying aura swept out in all directions. Level 6. Su Chen frowned. The aura that the venerable dragon carving released was the same as the heavenly overlord tortoise's aura. They were both at level 6. As Wu Yang and the rest were too weak, they could not withstand the aura. Their bodies began to tremble. Even the super ancient devouring titanium mosquito was terrified. It had already flown to Su Chen's side. A dragon's roar pierced through the clouds. A giant golden dragon appeared where the venerable dragon carving had been. Its body was more than 30 meters long. Golden scales were embedded on its skin, giving off a dazzling glow. It was flying in midair, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. It looked extremely ferocious. A golden dragon. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. The golden dragon before him was completely different from the black scorching dragon that he had encountered before. The black scorching dragon was huge and belonged to the Western dragons. The golden dragon was long and narrow. It was an Eastern divine dragon. Su Chen could not figure out whether the venerable dragon carving was originally a dragon or if he had used some secret technique to transform into a dragon. Kid, are you afraid now? This time, I will definitely skin you alive to relieve the hatred in my heart. The golden dragon glared at Su Chen and suddenly roared. The main reason why he hated Su Chen so much was that he had been forced by Su Chen to use his real body's abilities. He was indeed an Eastern divine dragon, but he had always been injured. Once he used his real body's abilities, his injuries would worsen. Without a doubt, it would be more difficult for him to fully recover. He would need many years to recover. If not for that, he would have transformed into his real body to kill Su Chen. This is your trump card? That's all you got? Su Chen laughed mockingly. Admittedly, a level 6 divine dragon was indeed a threat to him. However, if they were to really fight to the death, it was hard to say who would emerge victorious. Moreover, he could exchange for the level 5 all attributes fragment at any time. Once he entered level 5, he could easily crush level 6 players. In addition, there was still a level 6 heavenly overlord turtle in his pet breeding space. Therefore, even if the venerable dragon carving transformed into a dragon and reached level 6, it was still nothing in front of Su Chen. Seeing that Su Chen was still fearless, the venerable dragon carving muttered in his heart. Why wasn't this kid afraid at all? Could it be that he also had a trump card? In order to avoid any unexpected events, the venerable dragon carving stopped thinking and flew in front of Su Chen, slapping down with its claw. Su Chen did not choose to escape. He released his spiritual force in an instant and wrapped it around his fist. At the same time, he performed the golden scale arm and the heavenly strength technique. A golden fist smashed toward the giant claw. In the next moment, the fist and the claw collided violently. A loud boom was heard. The venerable dragon carving only felt an unparalleled force surging toward him. In the face of such a force, he was like a baby who had no strength to truss a chicken. Immediately after, his huge body trembled violently and was sent flying dozens of meters away. There was a loud bang. After the venerable dragon carving crashed to the ground, he slid back more than 10 meters, leaving a long gully on the ground. When he stopped, his huge dragon head was in a daze. His eyes were also filled with a layer of confusion. Chapter 398. The venerable dragon carving venerable could not understand. He had revealed his true form and reached level 6. Moreover, he had the body of a true dragon. How powerful was he? How could he be sent flying by a weak human with a single punch? Most importantly, the human who sent him flying was only level 4. He was 2 levels lower than him. Was there any justice in this world? Where was the hierarchy? Where was the power system? It didn't work in front of Su Chen at all. The more the venerable dragon carving venerable thought about it, the more aggrieved and fearful he felt. If Su Chen could send him flying with a single punch, wouldn't he be able to kill him easily? The venerable dragon carving venerable slowly got up and began to think of a way out. On the other side, Su Chen swayed a few times and quickly stabilized himself. When he realized that the venerable dragon carving venerable was about to escape, he did not hesitate and summoned the heavenly overlord tortoise. He knew very well that he was 2 levels lower than the venerable dragon carving venerable. It was easy to defeat him, but it would take a lot of effort to kill him. Therefore, he might as well ask the heavenly overlord tortoise to help him kill the venerable dragon carving venerable quickly. This is a level 6 mutated beast. The appearance of the heavenly overlord tortoise made the venerable dragon carving venerable tremble. He could not even defeat Su Chen. With the addition of a level 6 mutated beast, he would be tortured to death. But I have to run. Even if I have to run to the ends of the earth, I will not hesitate. This was the only thought in the venerable dragon carving venerable. He rose into the air and was about to fly away. Suddenly, 2 fist-sized rocks, one red and one black, flew in front of him. Before he could react, they hit his head hard. Buzz buzz. After being hit by the 2 rocks, the venerable dragon carving venerable's head buzzed as if he had been hit by 2 mountains. Just as he rose into the air, he was smashed to the ground again. Don't. Amidst the tremors, the heavenly overlord tortoise seized the opportunity to pounce and pressed the venerable dragon carving venerable's head into the ground. Little gold, suck him dry. Seeing that the venerable dragon carving was being controlled, Su Chen's heart stirred. He gave the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito an order. Super ancient devouring gorilla mosquito relied on diluted blood to level up. It was already level 5. And once it consumed the venerable dragon carving, it would level up to level 6. Su Chen would never miss this opportunity. The super ancient devouring Vajra mosquito understood what Su Chen meant and was instantly excited. It quickly flew to the venerable dragon carving's body and inserted its suction needle deep into his body. Then he took a deep breath. A strange scene occurred. The venerable dragon carving's powerful body quickly shriveled under this suction. In the blink of an eye, only a piece of dragon skin was left. His life aura was completely extinguished at this moment. Following that, colorful beams of light shot up into the sky. They were colorful and dazzling. At least 100 fragments. There are also purple gold ones. Su Chen took a deep breath. He was extremely excited. After killing the venerable dragon carving, more than 100 shards dropped, and one of them was purple gold in color. It could be said that happiness came too suddenly and caught him off guard. On the other side, after the super-ancient devouring Vajra mosquito sucked the venerable dragon carving's blood essence, its aura rose steadily. In the blink of an eye, it reached the same level as the heavenly overlord tortoise. Obviously, it had successfully leveled up to level 6. Master, I have leveled up to level 6. The super-ancient devouring Vajra mosquito flew to Su Chen's side and said excitedly. At level 6, it could also speak like the heavenly overlord tortoise. Chapter 399. That's right. Su Chen nodded. The super-ancient gorilla devouring mosquito's ability to increase its level by devouring blood was indeed very powerful. To him, with the addition of a level 6 insect beast, his overall ability had increased by another level. After a while, Su Chen kept the two spiritual pets in the pet breeding space and began to pick up the fragments. At the same time, Wu Yang and the rest were digging for energy stones and collecting mutated beast carcasses. After more than an hour, Su Chen finished picking up the fragments and could not help but smile. There were not many fragments this time, but the harvest was very rich. Other than reaching 8,000 energy points, he had also unexpectedly collected all the Abyss Ghost Howling Wind. Since then, the wind element magic had also been integrated into the concretions. Its power was second only to the ice element and was comparable to the fire element. Later, Su Chen's gaze fell on a stone cave in the middle of the mountain. He immediately released his mental strength and extended it into the cave. The stone cave was emitting a strong energy wave. It was obviously where the level 5 energy stones were located. Soon, Su Chen used his mental strength to investigate. The stone walls of the stone cave were embedded with various levels of energy stones. There were so many of them that it could only be described as a sea of energy stones. Su Chen had previously excavated energy stones in the Dark Valley Mountains. However, the energy stones there were not on the same level as the ones here. The difference between the two was like heaven and earth. It was like the difference between heaven and earth. I'm rich. Su Chen clenched his fists. His eyes were shining. After Wu Yang and the rest had finished excavating the energy stones, the excavation work began with a bang. From the beginning of the excavation, it lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, when the goods were counted, everyone was stunned. There were 1,020 level 5 energy stones and countless energy stones of other levels. With such a huge amount of energy stones in hand, Su Chen naturally wanted to upgrade the intelligent war chariot. After using up all the level 5 energy stones and a large amount of energy stones of other levels, the intelligent war chariot had successfully entered level 5. In the level 5 state, the most obvious improvement was its defense. It could now withstand the attacks of a level 5 cultivator. In addition, the detection range had been expanded to 500 kilometers, the speed had been increased to 500 miles per hour, and the maximum length of the car had been increased to 100 meters. Furthermore, it also developed a new function, which was that it could sail in the sea. It was like an amphibious war chariot. As for the attack power, there was only one change. As the level increased, the power of the anti-magic light wave also increased. Under the influence of the light wave, level 5 spellcasters could no longer cast spells. After upgrading the intelligent war chariot, Su Chen began to prepare food. The past few days had been too tiring, so he decided to rest here for a day. Once he was refreshed, he would head to Yulan City to hunt zombies. The next day, according to the plan, the intelligent war chariot slowly drove towards Yulan City. When Yulan City appeared on the central control screen, Su Chen was surprised to find that there wasn't a single red in Yulan City, but there were hundreds of black dots. 100 black dots represented 100 foreign races. With so many of them appearing at once, Su Chen couldn't help but feel alarmed. In terms of combat power, the mutated races were far superior to humans and zombies. Are they from the undead clan? Su Chen was a little suspicious, but he couldn't be 100% sure. After all, there were a total of 4 mutated races in Yulin. The spellcasters of the Forgotten Sorrow Valley, the Imperial Beast clan of the Qilin Mountain, the Flying Feather clan of the Tianqi Mountain, and the Undead clan of the Zhentian City could all have taken over Yulon City. Of course, there might be a new race appearing. Chapter 400. Su Chen didn't care too much about this. To him, no matter which race it was, the most important thing was that they would drop fragments if they were killed. After driving for an hour, the intelligent war chariot arrived at Yulon City. At this time, hundreds of people suddenly rushed out of Yulon City. They seemed to have been prepared. Needless to say, these people were all from the mutated race. However, what Su Chen didn't expect was that they weren't from the same race. Some of them were as black as ink, some had wings on their backs, some were riding mutated beasts, and some were gray-skinned mutated race. The Undead race, the Flying Feather race, the Imperial Beast race, and the rest should be the Mage race. The 4 mutated races of Yulin City were gathered here, and it was obvious that they were here for him. Su Chen, why are there so many mutated race people? Wu Yang's expression trembled. Although they were far away, he could still feel that the aura of these hundreds of mutated race people were unusually strong. A few of them gave him the feeling that they were unusually strong. This feeling was exactly the same as the aura of the Heavenly Overlord Turtle. This meant that there was a level 6 existence on the other side, and there was more than one of them. They're here to wait for me. Su Chen slowly narrowed his eyes. In Yulin City, other than the mutated beasts of the Kongdong mountain range, the other top forces had all come. Their goal was obvious. They wanted to surround and kill him. The other side's lineup was unprecedented. For level 6 cultivators, and the rest were level 4 or level 5. Even a level 7 evolver would be afraid of such a lineup. However, Su Chen wasn't afraid. Since he had chosen the path of invincibility, he had to walk forward courageously. How could he retreat? All of you wait for me here. I'll go meet them. Su Chen muttered, opened the door, and slowly walked out. This time, he didn't bring his mechanical soldier. The mechanical soldier was only level 5. Facing hundreds of strong enemies, it was very easy for it to be damaged. Wu Yang wanted to persuade him, but he also understood Su Chen's temperament, so he could only sigh helplessly. Su Chen got out of the car and immediately opened the Doomsday Mall. He spent 1,000 energy points to exchange for a level 5 all attributes, fragment, and raised his cultivation to level 5. When he was at level 4, he could deal with a level 6 evolver. However, there were 4 level 6 players on the other side. If they were still level 4, they would definitely not be a match for them. Now that he had advanced to level 5, he could easily kill enemies of a higher level. For level 6 cultivators were no longer enough to deal with him. The other party was not in a hurry to make a move. Instead, they quietly waited for Su Chen to arrive. When the distance between them was less than 10 meters, Su Chen stopped. At this moment, a robust Undying walked out from the opposite side. He glanced at Su Chen and said in a low voice, "Su Chen, you still came in the end. I admire your courage. I don't kill nameless people. Tell me your name." Su Chen snorted softly. The other party looked as if he could defeat him, which made him very unhappy. The Undying person was not angry. He pursed his lips and said arrogantly, "I'm from Zhentian City, the Black Cloud Emperor." Su Chen nodded slightly, then turned his gaze to a gray-skinned elder who was walking forward. The elder seemed to have sensed something and smiled faintly. "I'm Wu Ming from Forget Worry Valley." Forget Worry Valley was the Dharma race, and the Dharma race was one of the 5 supreme races. Su Chen could not help but take a few more glances at Wu Ming. However, he quickly shifted his gaze to the other 2 people. A middle-aged man with a rough appearance wearing animal skin raised his voice and said, "I'm Keshuanshua from the half-beast race." Another handsome man from the feather race laughed sinisterly. "I'm Shen Lang from the feather race." Su Chen knew that these 4 people were the 4 level 6 cultivators. He rubbed his nose and sneered. "You bunch of trash want to kill me? Do you have the ability to do so?" Chapter 401. I've long heard that you're unscrupulous and arrogant. Now that I've seen it for myself, I can see that you live up to your reputation. Wu Ming squinted his eyes and laughed instead of getting angry. Su Chen, you're so fearless. Do you think you can escape from us? The Heiyun Emperor smirked. Escape? Su Chen snorted and said in disdain, I'm here to kill all of you. Why should I escape? You're really arrogant. Let me have a taste of it. Ku Xianxua sneered and then moved his feet, rushing toward Su Chen. As a level 6 evolver, he was as fast as lightning and arrived in front of Su Chen in an instant. Go to hell. Ku Xianxua roared and threw a punch at Su Chen's face. Feeling a gust of wind coming at him, Su Chen threw a punch without hesitation. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. In an instant, 100 golden fists appeared in the air. They were connected to each other like a mountain of gold, exuding an unparalleled and violent power. What's that? Ku Xianxua was shocked. What he saw was a golden fist shadow pressing down on him. What a terrifying fist technique! The Heiyun Emperor and the other two were shocked. They had never seen such a terrifying fist technique in their lives. They were more or less shocked. Ku Xianxua had nowhere to run and could only face the attack head-on. In the next moment, Ku Xianxua's figure was drowned by the golden fist shadows. Bang, bang, bang. Amidst the sound of raindrops hitting banana leaves, he was smashed into the ground. When the golden fist shadows disappeared, Ku Xianxua was lying on the ground with blood all over his body. Many of his bones were broken and his aura was faintly discernible. Gasp. Witnessing this scene, the sound of people sucking in cold breaths could be heard. The Heiyun Emperor and the other two were shocked. With just one punch, a level 6 evolver from the beast race was beaten to a pulp. From this, it could be seen how powerful Su Chen's punch was. So strong. The Black Cloud Emperor clicked his tongue as a layer of cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Honestly speaking, if he were to switch places with Ku Xianxua, the one lying on the ground right now would definitely be him. Heiyun, Shenlang, this kid is too strong. Let's attack together. Wu Ming suggested. He knew that the strength Su Chen had displayed was only the tip of the iceberg. Even so, he could still easily crush a level 6 evolver. Their strength was on par with Ku Xianxua. Facing Su Chen one-on-one, there was only the fate of being slaughtered. If they wanted to kill Su Chen, they would only have a chance if the three of them worked together. Let's do it together. The Black Cloud Emperor roared. The Magic Psychic Masters and Spirit Psychic Masters were the first to act. In an instant, all kinds of spells and dozens of Spirit Psychic Masters rushed toward Su Chen. Su Chen had the ancient godly demon body. Spells and Spirit Psychic powers of the same level and below could not hurt him at all. However, when Nameless released an icicle spell, it gave him a feeling of palpitations. His intuition told him that the icicle technique had probably surpassed level 6 and was comparable to a level 7 spell. As expected of the magic race. You do have some skills. Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed. As the icicle technique was flying towards him, he swung his saber horizontally. A white torrent swept out from the saber and collided with the icicle technique. Crack. The icicle technique that was comparable to a level 7 icicle technique was cut in half and its power dissipated. How is this possible? Seeing this, Wu Ming was scared out of his wits. Chapter 402. As a member of the Dharma clan, their most powerful attacks were spells. The reason why the Dharma clan could become one of the 5 great races was because of their talent in spells. Every Dharma clan member, no matter what kind of spell they cast, would be far more powerful than their peers. In other words, they could crush their peers. As a prodigy of the Dharma clan, Nameless spells were 1 level higher than his peers. This was what he was most proud of. He did not expect that he would be defeated by a human cultivator today. What was even more unacceptable to him was that Su Chen was only at level 5, but his spells were already beyond level 7. This meant that Su Chen's talent in spells far surpassed his. This was the most fatal blow to him. In fact, he did not expect that Su Chen's spells were only at level 5. The reason why they were so powerful was because the ice element spell had fused with the mysterious ice of the depths and the northern chill ice. It was also released through the enchanted divine saber. Of course, Su Chen would not tell him this. After defeating Nameless Icicle spell, the other spells and mind power had already landed on Su Chen. However, they were all bounced off without exception. At this time, the Black Cloud Emperor and Shunlang had already reached Su Chen. When they saw that all their spells and mind power could not do anything to Su Chen, they were almost scared to death. To be able to ignore all spell techniques and spiritual power attacks was simply impossible. Did that mean that Su Chen could not be killed at all? What was the point of fighting then? Just as the Black Cloud Emperor and Shunlang were in a daze, Su Chen shook one of his hands. Two beams of light, one gold and one red, shot out. Rumble. After the golden light flashed, it turned into a huge object the size of a small mountain. The ground trembled under its weight, and the pressure it emitted was like a tsunami. On the other side, after the red light cracked, it turned into a blood-colored mosquito the size of a fist. It buzzed and flapped its wings as it circled around Su Chen. Level 6 Mutated Beast and Level 6 Insect Beast. The Black Cloud Great Emperor and Shunlang's faces changed drastically as they sensed the enormous pressure emitted by the Heavenly Overlord Turtle and the super ancient devouring Vajra Mosquito. Their hearts trembled. Their subordinates trembled in fear under the pressure of the two auras. Kill them! Su Chen coldly shouted. He directly summoned the two level 6 spiritual pets in order to end the battle quickly. As long as he could restrain the Black Cloud Great Emperor and Shunlang, he would be able to kill them one by one. The Heavenly Overlord Tortoise roared and charged at Shunlang. The super ancient devouring Vajra Mosquito flapped its wings wildly and disappeared in the blink of an eye. When it reappeared, it was already in front of the Black Cloud Emperor. On the other side, Su Chen locked onto John Doe. He instantly activated the rapid combat boots and rushed over. Stop him! Wu Ming roared. He was only a Dharma psychic, and his body was only slightly stronger than an ordinary person's. If he allowed a powerful evolver like Su Chen to get close to him, the consequences would be unimaginable. The other Dharma people unleashed their spells with all their might in an attempt to stop Su Chen. Su Chen turned a blind eye to it and crushed everything in his way. Anyone who was in his way would have their bones crushed and died. Seeing this, Wu Ming's mouth trembled. However, he would not sit still and wait for his death. He hastily activated his spells. However, at this moment, an invisible force attacked him, and he could not breathe. Mind power? Wu Ming's expression changed drastically. Before he could react, Su Chen had already slashed at him. With a thud, Wu Ming's head fell to the ground, and he died on the spot. Chapter 403. After killing Nameless, Su Chen released a round of spells, killing more than half of the Dharma people. He then turned around and charged toward the Heiyun the Great. The Heiyun the Great was surrounded by a thick layer of death aura, forcing the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquitoes to stay away from him. They could only harass him from the outside. When Su Chen charged over, a large number of undead people came forward to stop him. They released their death aura at the same time, forming a huge black shield. Su Chen did not care and used his physical body to smash the black shield. Then, with a sweep of his saber, a blue torrent wreaked havoc, wiping out all the undying clan members in front of him with an unstoppable force. How can he not be afraid of our natal domain? Seeing Su Chen rampaging and killing in all directions under the cover of a large amount of corpse poison, the fear in the Black Cloud Emperor's heart reached the extreme. The reason why the undead could become one of the 5 supreme races was because of the domain formed by the death aura. If even the domain could not do anything to Su Chen, did it not mean that Su Chen was invincible? How could they fight then? Should they run for their lives? With this thought in mind, the Heiyun the Great did not dare to stay any longer. After forcing the super ancient devouring Vajra mosquitoes to retreat, he turned around and fled, not even caring about his subordinates. Trying to escape? Su Chen snorted and activated the rapid war boots again to chase after him. At the same time, he released the wood elemental entanglement and mental energy at the same time, catching up with the Heiyun the Great in an instant. The Heiyun the Great, who was running, suddenly felt that his feet were entangled by something. He exerted his strength but could not break free. In a hurry, he looked down and saw that it was a green vine that was entangled around his feet. He felt that it was unreal. How could a mere wood elemental entanglement stop him? The Heiyun the Great gritted his teeth and exerted his strength again. Crack! The vine showed signs of breaking. The Heiyun the Great was overjoyed. Just as he was about to break free, an invisible force came from all directions. You want to trap me with only level 5 mental energy? The Dark Cloud Emperor sneered and unleashed the full power of a level 6 evolver. Asterisk crack. Asterisk the green vines collapsed, and the invisible force in the surroundings was also dispersed. Just as the Black Cloud Great Emperor was about to break free from the shackles and flee for his life, Su Chen rushed forward and chopped down with his saber in both hands. Rumble! A blue thunderbolt shot out of the enchanted magic saber and drowned the Black Cloud Emperor in the blink of an eye. No! The Black Cloud Great Emperor let out an unwilling roar before finally turning into a charred corpse. Not far away, Chen Lang, who was repeatedly forced to retreat in defeat by the Dark Sky Tyrant Turtle, just happened to witness this scene, and he was terrified to the extreme. There were a total of 4 level 6 combatants who came with him, but in less than a minute, 2 of them were dead and 1 was injured. Facing Su Chen, who was a terrifying existence that could instantly kill a level 6 practitioner, Chen Lang knew that if he did not hurry up and escape, his life would end here. All members of the Flying Feather race, flee with me! Shen Lang roared and immediately spread his wings and soared into the sky. The Flying Feather race's strength was below average among the 10,000 races, but they were very good at escaping. Every time they encountered an opponent that they could not defeat, they would fly into the air. This time, Shen Lang still chose to use this method to save his life. Seeing that Shen Lang and the rest of the Flying Feather race were flying further and further away, Su Chen's thoughts turned rapidly. If he did not remove the root of the problem, there would be endless trouble in the future. He would definitely not let Shen Lang escape, but he could not fly, so how could he catch up with Shen Lang? Suddenly, Su Chen thought of a fragment of A Quick Step to Heaven. He did not know the function of the fragment before he gathered enough fragments, but he had a vague feeling that as long as he could gather enough clear sky, he would definitely be able to catch up with Shen Lang. Chapter 404. Su Chen did not hesitate at all. He immediately activated the Doomsday Mall and spent 5,000 energy points to exchange for the Right Step Clear Sky. The moment the exchange was successful, a message was sent to his mind. Just as he had predicted, the Right Step Clear Sky could indeed allow one to fly in the sky. To be more precise, one could run freely in the sky just like on land. Ah, let's see how you're going to escape from me. Su Chen laughed wantonly. Then, he stepped on the void and charged upwards at a slanted angle as if he was stepping on a slope. When he reached a certain height, he raised his voice and ordered the Heavenly Overlord Turtle, "Little Overlord, the 2 of you kill all the other tribe members." As soon as he finished speaking, he activated the Rapid Combat Boots and chased after Shen Lang. He was so fast that he disappeared from sight in the blink of an eye. Everyone in the Intelligent War Chariot witnessed this unbelievable scene. Their mouths were wide open and they were inexplicably shocked. Chen Gu can fly? Yang Hao's mind was buzzing as he muttered in a daze. Chao ran beside him, clicked his tongue and added, "He's not flying, he's running in the air. Is there anything in this world that Chen Gu can't do?" Sure Danius swallowed his saliva and sighed from the bottom of his heart. On the other side, Shen Lang was leading a group of people as he flew leisurely toward Tianqi Mountain. Su Chen, so what if you're strong? So what if you can kill a level 6 cultivator in an instant? You want to kill me, Shen Lang? Wishful thinking. Shen Lang muttered to himself proudly. This is bad, sir. That terrifying human is catching up. However, at this moment, a Flying Feather tribe member beside him suddenly shouted. Terrifying human? Who was it? Su Chen? However, Su Chen was just a human. Could he fly? The answer was yes. Humans did not have wings, so how could they fly? Are you F***king scared out of your wits? Which human can fly? Shen Lang berated the clansman. Instinctively, he thought that the clansman was trying to confuse the crowd and disturb the morale of the army. If it weren't for the fact that they had failed to kill Su Chen and suffered heavy losses, he would have killed this clansman on the spot. No, my lord, he didn't fly over. He seemed to have run over, the Flying Feather Race member explained in a trembling voice. You ran here? Shen Lang frowned deeply and subconsciously glanced behind him. Soon, a tall figure appeared in his line of sight and approached him at lightning speed. Su Chen. He can actually fly in the air. The corner of Shen Lang's mouth trembled. He was so frightened that his heart almost jumped to his throat, and he almost fell from the sky. Sir, what should we do? He's catching up. The group of Flying Feather Clan members was extremely anxious as they looked at Shen Lang. Why are you all looking at me? What can I do? Shen Lang roared in his heart. If he stopped and fought to the death with Su Chen, he would be throwing his life away. If he ran, he wouldn't be as fast as Su Chen. He would be caught up to sooner or later. Shen Lang's mind spun quickly. He roared, Brothers, we can't run away from him. Let's fight him to the death. My lord, we're no match for him. A Flying Feather Race member reminded him. Shen Lang laughed wantonly. So what if we die? I'm here with you. What are you afraid of? There are no cowards in the Flying Feather Race. Follow me and charge back. The Flying Feather Race members were influenced. They roared, We swear to live and die with you, my lord. Let's fight him to the death. Shen Lang led the charge. He was the first to turn around and charge towards Su Chen. The other Flying Feather Race members followed suit. They turned around and followed Shen Lang closely. However, none of the Flying Feather Clan members expected Shen Lang to suddenly turn around and flee after charging for less than 10 meters. What's going on? Why is my lord running away? Didn't he say that he would fight with his life on the line? When they saw this, the Flying Feather Race members were stunned in midair. Their faces were filled with confusion. Chapter 405. **CK. Shen Lang is tricking us. How could a level 6 evolved being do such a shameless thing? Soon, many of the Flying Feather Race members realized that Shen Lang wanted them to be cannon fodder while he took the opportunity to escape. After understanding what was going on, the Flying Feather Race members were furious and frightened. Brothers, let's run. One of the Flying Feather Race members shouted. Since Shen Lang had escaped, they would be courting death if they stayed behind. They were not idiots. Since Shen Lang was so ruthless, why would they want to be cannon fodder? The Flying Feather Race members' suggestion was met with a chorus of agreement. They all scattered and fled. At the same time, Su Chen rushed to the front of the Flying Feather Race members and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. In an instant, the sky was filled with fist shadows and whistling sounds as they fell from the sky. Bang, bang, bang. After a series of dull thuds, the bodies of the Flying Feather Race members exploded. They turned into a bloody mist and slowly fell to the ground. Along with them, there were dozens of shining shards. There was even a purple-gold shard among them. Su Chen suppressed his excitement and did not immediately pick up the purple-gold shard because he had not killed Shen Lang yet. At this time, Shen Lang was desperately flying. He only wanted to fly back to Tianqi Mountain and return to the Flying Feather Race's mainland through the Interworld Passage. He would never come back to Thousand Feather Island again. You think you can escape? Su Chen looked at Shen Lang from afar as a disdainful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Then he moved his feet and increased his speed to the maximum as he chased after Shen Lang. Originally, the two of them were a few hundred meters apart. However, after a few breaths, they were less than 100 meters apart. Why is his speed so fast? Shen Lang was scared out of his wits. He gritted his teeth and did not hesitate to burn his life force to increase his speed. Do you think you can beat me in terms of speed? Seeing that Shen Lang's speed was much faster than before, Su Chen sneered in his heart. He used 2 level-up gems and leveled up the rapid combat boots by 2 levels. At this moment, Su Chen's speed had slightly surpassed that of a level 7 evolved being. He had completely overshadowed Shenlang. After another 2 breaths, he was less than 50 meters away from Shenlang. "It's over." Seeing Su Chen closing in on him, Shenlang's heart was filled with despair. When the distance between them was less than 30 meters, Su Chen raised his hand and shot out 2 fist-sized stones. One red and one black. They were the Earth Vein Fire Meteorite and the Big Dipper Star Fragment Stone. Whoosh whoosh, the 2 divine stones pierced through the air and caught up with Shenlang in the blink of an eye. They crashed into his back at almost the same time. Bang! Bang! Shenlang felt as if he had been smashed by 2 mountains at the same time. Unable to withstand the impact, he was directly smashed to the ground. Su Chen took the opportunity to sweep his saber across. Blue lightning shot out from the saber and dealt a fatal blow to Shenlang. There was a loud explosion. The moment Shenlang was engulfed by the blue lightning, his entire body exploded. Then, more than 50 shards slowly floated down from the sky. Su Chen did not wait for the shards to fall to the ground. He happily ran forward to pick them up. Picked up apple tree seed, shard X1, 1-1. Shards full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Exchanged for energy points. After picking up more than 50 shards, Su Chen returned to pick up the shards dropped by the Flying Feather Tribe members. About 10 minutes later, he returned to Yulan City. Currently, outside Yulan City, it was a mess. Corpses were strewn everywhere. Almost all the foreign tribesmen who had participated in the ambush had been slaughtered. Only a few had managed to escape alive. Chapter 406. Looking at the shiny shards all over the ground, Su Chen's lips curled up. Although he did not kill many mutated races, all of them were cultivators above level 4, so the chance of shards dropping was greatly increased. Every mutated race could drop at least a few shards. Level 6 mutated races like the Black Cloud Emperor could even drop close to 100 shards. Therefore, all the shards added up to thousands. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, and his expression suddenly changed. 2 purple gold shards appeared in his line of sight. Adding the one he had obtained earlier, there were a total of 3 shards. 1 purple gold shard was 2,000 energy points. In other words, today's harvest was at least 6,000 energy points. This was something he had never encountered before. Taking a deep breath, Su Chen began to pick up the shards. An hour later, all the shards were picked up. Su Chen returned to the intelligent war chariot. He glanced at the central control screen and said loudly, "Satoshi, head to Jintian City." Jintian City was the Black Cloud Emperor's nest. There were countless zombies gathered there. Naturally, he would not miss the opportunity to kill the zombies and get the shards. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the location of Jintian City and headed there at top speed. Su Chen sat in the driver's seat and opened the Doomsday Shopping Center to check. Before coming to Yulan City, he had more than 8,000 energy points and spent 5,000 points to exchange for One Step to Heaven. However, after picking up 3 purple gold shards and exchanging some other shards for energy points, the total number of energy points exceeded the 10,000 mark. 10,000 lights, 10 shadows killing technique, 5 elements thunder purgatory formation, disillusionment blaze feather divine dragon, chaos sky splitter sword, atlas shapeshifting technique, and time accelerator. In order for the essence fruit tree to mature sooner, Su Chen finally spent 10,000 energy points to exchange for time accelerator. Time accelerator was a palm-sized, diamond-shaped crystal. It looked very ordinary. However, after receiving the feedback, Su Chen was very excited. As expected, Time Accelerator could indeed accelerate the growth of spiritual plants and greatly shorten the growth cycle. The shortening of the cycle was closely related to the energy stones installed. Installing a level 1 energy stone could shorten the time by 1-fold, a level 2 energy stone could shorten the time by 2 folds, a level 3 energy stone could shorten the time by 3 folds, and so on. The highest level of energy stones Su Chen had was level 4. He installed 10 level 4 energy stones on the time accelerator and placed them in the plant dimension. The time accelerator that was installed with an energy stone would emit a faint light with a radiation range of 10 cubic meters. As long as it was shrouded in the faint light, any spirit plant's growth cycle would be shortened. 4 times shorter was not enough to satisfy Su Chen, because the growth cycle of the essence fruit tree was very long. Even if it was shortened by 4 times, it would not be able to bear fruit quickly. Looks like there's a need to make a trip to the Kongdong mountain range. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. In Chenyu Island, almost all of the level 6 existences had been killed by him. Perhaps only the level 6 mutant beast in the Kongdong mountain range was left. Moreover, a large number of mutant beasts gathered in the Kongdong mountain range. If he killed all of them, he could obtain a large number of high-level energy stones. This way, he could speed up the growth cycle of the essence fruit tree and harvest the essence fruit in a short time. After making up his mind, Su Chen did not think too much about it and closed his eyes to rest. After that, the intelligent war chariot sped all the way up without encountering any obstacles. About 3 days later, traces of Buried Sky City appeared on the central control screen. Chapter 407. Surprisingly, there wasn't a single red or black dot in Buried Sky City. There wasn't even a single blue. It was like a dead city. What happened? Where are the zombies and the undead? Su Chen frowned deeply. Without zombies and aliens, he couldn't get the fragments, which was the last thing he wanted to see. This trip was equivalent to a wasted trip. After looking at the central control screen for a while, Su Chen suddenly found a blue dot galloping from Zhentian City, which was less than 200 kilometers away from him. Satoshi, lock onto that blue and check it out, Su Chen ordered. His idea was very simple. Since the other party came from Zhentian City, he might know something. The intelligent war vehicle received the order, turned around, and went straight to the blue. An hour later, the figure of MCV appeared on the central control screen. It was the blue dot that had been shown before. After stopping the MCV, Su Chen got out of the car and walked toward it. It was also at this time that 2 men came down from the opposite MCV. After seeing Su Chen's appearance, the 2 men suddenly panicked and shouted, "Senior! It's you, uncle!" Su Chen glanced at them and saw that one of them was the red-bearded man, Lu Yuan, whom he had met in the Long Valley Mountains a few days ago, and the other was the old man, Elder Yu. "Senior, my name is Lu Yuan. You can call me by my name." Lu Yuan trembled all over. He didn't know how powerful Su Chen was before, so he didn't feel anything when Su Chen called him uncle. But after seeing Su Chen's terrifying strength, he didn't dare to call himself uncle anymore. Su Chen didn't think much about it and continued to ask, "Did you two come from Zhentian City?" Lu Yuan replied hurriedly. "What's the situation in Zhentian City now?" Su Chen asked calmly. "Senior, Zhentian City has now turned into ruins," Lu Yuan replied truthfully. Upon hearing this, Su Chen's expression froze. Although the scale of Buried Sky City was not as big as Heaven Connect City, it was still considered a super large city. How could it have turned into ruins? Who could destroy such a large city? "Do you know how it was destroyed?" Su Chen asked in a deep voice. Lu Yuan shook his head blankly. Elder Yu thought for a moment and said, "Senior, I think it was caused by the collapse of the interdomain passageway in the city." "I see." Su Chen suddenly understood. The destructive power caused by the collapse of the domain passageway was extremely terrifying. He had already seen it 3 times in total, especially the most recent time in Heaven Connect City, when half of the city was destroyed. The scale of Buried Sky City was not as large as Sky Reaching City, so it was very likely that it would be destroyed in an instant. After figuring out what was going on, Su Chen asked again, "Are there a large number of zombies and mutant beasts around here?" "It's strange. There used to be a lot of zombies around here, but in the past few days, not a single one has been seen. It's as if all the zombies have disappeared from Yulin," Lu Yuan explained. This kind of thing was indeed very strange. Su Chen vaguely felt that it had something to do with the death of Heiyun the Great. After pondering for a while, Su Chen said casually. Well, there's nothing else. You can go now. Senior will go now. Lu Yuan and Elder Yu felt as if they had been pardoned. They trotted to the MCV and quickly left. Su Chen returned to the MCV and squinted at the central control screen. Since there were no zombies in Buried Sky City, there was no need to waste time there. The next target naturally fell on Kongdong Mountain Range. Satoshi, go to Kongdong Mountain Range. Chapter 408. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the location of the Kongdong Mountain Range and sped over. 5 days later, the central control screen showed traces of the Kongdong Mountain Range. However, just like Burial Sky City, there were very few red dots in the Kongdong Mountain Range. This meant that the mutated beasts inside had long run away. It was as if they knew that Su Chen would kill them and hid in advance. The disappearance of the nearby zombies and the mutated beasts in the Kongdong Mountain Range made Su Chen feel that something was wrong. After pondering for a long time, Su Chen decided to go somewhere else to take a look. After that, the intelligent war chariot had been running around Yulin. He had been to Tianqi Mountain, Wangyu Valley, and Qilin Mountain. However, without exception, these forces were all destroyed, just like Burial Sky City. Moreover, Su Chen also found a very strange thing. The number of humans he encountered these days was getting fewer and fewer. Logically speaking, with the disappearance of the zombies and mutated beasts, there should be more space for humans to move around. They should be more active. Unable to figure out the situation for a while, Su Chen did not think too much about it. In the end, he decided to leave Yulin and go to the Dillon district to try his luck. If he wanted to enter the Dillon district, the easiest way was to enter through the tunnel. After finding the nearest tunnel on the central control screen, Su Chen arranged for the intelligent war chariot to go there. In the next few days, he still did not encounter any zombies or mutated beasts. Just as he passed by a small town called Lanxi, Su Chen unexpectedly found that there was a fierce fight going on there. Both sides of the fight were humans. One side was dressed in uniform black and seemed to be from a certain force. There were as many as 100 people. The other side seemed to be the residents of Lanxi town. There were more than 1,000 of them, but they were being defeated by the other side. Su Chen originally did not want to get involved in this kind of thing. Just as he was about to leave, he found an acquaintance. This acquaintance was none other than the gray-haired old man he had met several times. At this time, the gray-haired old man was in rags. Not only was he in a very sorry state, but he was also besieged by 3 men in black and was in a precarious situation. Wherever I go, I run into this old guy. What a coincidence. Su Chen muttered, intending to go over and see what was going on. After getting out of the car, Su Chen openly walked forward. When he approached, he shouted, "Everyone, stop." This shout was like a sudden clap of thunder, and it immediately stunned everyone. They all knew that the strange man in front of them was definitely a top-notch expert. None of them dared to act rashly. The white-haired old man faintly felt that the voice was somewhat familiar. He turned around and looked back. When he saw that the person was Su Chen, he was pleasantly surprised. Then, he trotted to Su Chen's side and shouted respectfully, "Senior." "Uncle, what's going on?" Su Chen asked softly. The white-haired elder hurriedly explained, "Senior, these people want to capture us without any reason. Recently, they have already captured many people in Yulin district." Su Chen exclaimed softly and thought to himself, no wonder the number of humans in Yulin district decreased by a lot. Could it be that they were all captured by these men in black? "Kid, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. Otherwise, you will be killed." At this time, a middle-aged man with a dark complexion walked out from the group of men in black. He coldly sized up Su Chen and warned him. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said lightly, "What if I insist on meddling?" The dark man laughed wildly and snorted, "Kid, do you know whose subordinates we are? Only death awaits you if you go against us." Su Chen curled his lips. "Tell me, who are you? If I say it, you will be scared to death." The dark man puffed out his chest and said proudly, We are all Su Chen, Lord Su's subordinates. Chapter 409. Who are you talking about? Su Chen opened his mouth slightly, almost thinking that he had misheard. He now suspected that there was someone with the same name as him. Wu Yang and the others on the intelligent chariot were also so shocked that they couldn't close their mouths. They looked at each other. In the past few days, Su Chen had been with them and had never left alone. When did he have such a group of subordinates? You may not have heard of Lord Su's name, but everything he has done is like thunder to your ears. It is enough to shock you for 3 days and 3 nights. The Tan Man's expression was solemn, as if he worshipped Lord Su. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said in a low voice, "What are you talking about? Tell me a few things." Killing the strongest people of Lion's Gate, Hidden Fog Sect, and Heaven Connect City, destroying half of Heaven Connect City, and then killing all the mutated races in Yulin District, including a level 6 expert. Are these things enough to shock you for the rest of your life? The dark-skinned man recounted everything as if he had seen it with his own eyes. When the Tan Man finished speaking, there was a sound of cold air being sucked in. Everyone's face was filled with inexplicable shock. With the power of one person, killing all the top experts of Yulin District. How terrifying was this Lord Su's strength? As the person involved, Su Chen was dumbfounded. Everything that the dark-skinned man said was true. But when did he become Lord Su? When did he have so many subordinates? Suddenly he thought of a very serious problem. Would there be someone using his name to commit outrages behind his back? He had done this before. Before, he had used Mo Chung Kong's name to kill people everywhere. Could it be that the other party was using his own methods to deal with him? The more Su Chen thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. An unknown fire suddenly ignited in his chest. The Su Chen you mentioned, where is Lord Su now? Su Chen released his mental power and directly pulled the Tan Man to his side as he coldly questioned. The other party was using his name to capture people everywhere. There must be an unspeakable secret behind it. He had to figure it out. You are a spirit reader master. The dark-skinned man struggled desperately, but even if he used all his strength, he couldn't move an inch. He also realized that Su Chen was a powerful spirit reader master, and his face suddenly changed. Just answer whatever I ask you. If you dare to spout any nonsense, don't blame me for being impolite. Su Chen's voice was bone-chilling, and a fierce murderous aura surrounded his body. Senior, let's talk nicely. The dark-skinned man was intimidated by Su Chen's aura, and the corners of his mouth trembled. I'll ask you again, where is that Lord Su? Su Chen stared at the dark-skinned man. At the Purple Gold Mountain in the Earth Forest District. The dark-skinned man didn't dare to hide anything and spoke the truth. Purple Gold Mountain? Su Chen muttered to himself and continued to ask, why did you capture the humans of Yulin District? I don't know. It's all Lord Su's orders. I'm just following orders. The dark-skinned man answered straightforwardly. Bullshit. When did I order you to do this? Su Chen shouted coldly. You are Lord Su? The dark-skinned man was stunned for a moment. The surrounding onlookers also looked at Su Chen, and most of them had a strange look in their eyes. That Lord Su was an existence that could kill a level 6 cultivator. Even if you have some strength, you can't be so pretentious, right? I am Su Chen. Su Chen shouted, and used his mental power to crush the dark-skinned man's head. Chapter 410. Since he couldn't get anything out of him, there was no need for the dark-skinned man to stay. As for the imposter, he would naturally find out the truth when he went to Purple Mountain. Is he really Su Chen, Lord Su? The other men in black looked at each other. The dark-skinned man was clearly Lord Su's subordinate. If the young man in front of them was really Lord Su, why did he kill his subordinate? He must be an imposter. Brothers, run for your lives. It was unknown who among the black-clothed men roared, but it immediately caused a wave of resonance. All the men in black turned around and ran without saying a word. They all knew very well that whether the young man in front of them was real or fake, The fact that he could easily kill the dark-skinned man proved that he was a powerful person. If they didn't escape in time, they would probably be killed. Su Chen glanced at him coldly, raised his hand and punched out. All of a sudden, hundreds of fist shadows appeared in the air, exuding an aura that could destroy the heavens and the earth. Whoosh! Accompanied by a whistling sound, the dense fist shadows smashed down from the sky. Boom! In the midst of the explosion, the hundreds of men in black who fled died on the spot without exception, and their deaths were extremely miserable. All of them were turned into puddles of meat paste. Oh my God! It's too terrifying. What level of evolver is he? Su Chen killed hundreds of men in black with one punch, causing the residents of Lanshi Town to fall into deep shock. He's too strong. The gray-haired old man swallowed hard and looked at Su Chen with incomparable awe. He had long known that Su Chen was very strong. However, after witnessing Su Chen's violent blow with his own eyes, he was still shocked. At this moment, he also understood why Su Chen could kill wherever he went and live until now. It turned out that it was because of his terrifying strength. After killing the men in black, Su Chen turned to the gray-haired old man and said, "Well, the flies have been taken care of. Let's part ways here. Senior, take care." The gray-haired old man bowed and sincerely expressed his gratitude. Su Chen ignored him and went straight back to the car. Immediately, he ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, head to the forest area quickly. Knowing that someone was impersonating him, he couldn't wait to meet this guy and see who gave him the guts. The intelligent war chariot was ignited and started, and soon disappeared from Lanshi Town. In the later part of the journey, Su Chen met several groups of men in black one after another. Their methods were exactly the same. They were all using his name to capture people everywhere. Su Chen showed no mercy and killed them all. 3 days later, the intelligent war chariot arrived at the tunnel leading to the forest area. The tunnel entrance here was completely different from the one in Huanglin district. It was heavily guarded, numbering in the thousands, and all of them were dressed in black. From the looks of it, they belonged to the same faction as the black-clothed men he had killed earlier. The appearance of the intelligent chariot quickly caught the enemy's attention. Hundreds of men in black came forward and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. "Everyone inside, get out of the car." A skinny man with a face like tree bark glanced at the intelligent war chariot and shouted. Hearing this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes and got out of the car with everyone. He would not let any of the thousands of black-clothed men outside the car go. If he did it alone, it would be more or less troublesome, so he wanted to let the others do it together. Chapter 411. Which faction do you belong to? Su Chen glanced at the skinny man and asked coldly, "Do you have the right to know which faction I belong to?" The skinny man snorted disdainfully and ordered the other men in black, "Brothers, capture this group of people. Don't let any of them go." Suddenly, dozens of men in black rushed towards Su Chen and the others. "Little metal, kill them." Su Chen gave the mechanical soldier a look. Without saying anything, the mechanical soldier charged forward and swung its blade a few times, easily killing dozens of men in black. Witnessing this scene, the men in black were stunned. At the same time, a strong chill rose from the bottom of their hearts. They only saw a blur in front of their eyes, and then their dozens of companions died on the spot. One must know that their companions were not ordinary people. They were all evolvers, and there were even 2 level 2 evolvers. How could they be killed so easily? How strong was the opponent's metal puppet? Even a level 3 puppet did not have such strength. Could it be a level 4 puppet? A level 4 puppet was something they had never heard of before. "Now can you tell me where you came from?" Su Chen stared at the skinny man and said mockingly. The skinny man swallowed his saliva and said with a trembling voice, "Senior, we are all Master Su's subordinates." Under the deterrence of the mechanical soldier, he instinctively became timid. The arrogance from before had long disappeared. "So, you are all from Purple Mountain?" Su Chen asked coldly. The skinny man did not dare to hide and hurriedly replied, "Senior, we are indeed from Purple Mountain." Su Chen thought for a while and continued to ask, other than Purple Mountain, what other factions are there in the forest area? Are there any large groups of zombies or mutated beasts? In this trip to the forest area, other than eradicating Purple Mountain, killing zombies and mutated beasts was also the main focus. Senior, Purple Mountain is the only faction in the forest area. We have already killed all the zombies and mutated beasts, the skinny man replied. This answer surprised Su Chen. One had to know that the area of the Dislin district was not below that of the Huanglin district, but there was only one power, the Purple Mountain. How powerful was the Purple Mountain? Who is the strongest person in Purple Gold Mountain? What's his cultivation level? Su Chen asked calmly. Since he had decided to eradicate Purple Gold Mountain, he naturally had to get to the bottom of the situation to prevent himself from failing miserably. The strongest person on Mount Jijin is Xiang Zhenren. He is a powerful level 5 evolver. Isn't that Lord Su? Su Chen exclaimed softly. The other party kept saying that he was Lord Su's subordinate, then shouldn't this Lord Su be the strongest? Why did another Reverend Xiang pop out? Lord Su joined us later. We have never seen him fight, so we don't know his strength. The skinny man explained. Su Chen became more and more confused. He asked again, since you don't know his strength, why do you call yourselves Lord Su's subordinates? The skinny man hesitated for a while, then finally opened his mouth and said, this is what Reverend Xiang arranged for us to say. Hearing this, Su Chen narrowed his eyes. His mind was spinning nonstop. If what the skinny man said was true, then Purple Gold Mountain should have done this on purpose to attract his attention, so as to anger him and lead him to Purple Gold Mountain. There must be some kind of conspiracy behind this. However, there was one thing that Su Chen couldn't figure out. Since the other party knew his background, then they should know how strong he was. Then why did they still dare to do this? Were they not afraid of getting into trouble? Getting their whole family slaughtered? Chapter 412. Well, I finished my questions. It's time to send you on your way. Su Chen's mouth curved into a strange smile, and then he winked at Wu Yang and the others. On our way? What do you mean? The skinny man was stunned. Wu Yang and the others understood and attacked almost at the same time. Screams rang out. In less than 10 minutes, thousands of men in black from Purple Gold Mountain were slaughtered. Behind them, Su Chen and the others returned to the intelligent war chariot, locked onto the direction of Purple Gold Mountain, and sped away. Along the way, they encountered several obstacles. The largest number was nearly 10,000 men in black. However, their strength was very limited. Under the joint attack of Su Chen and the intelligent war chariot, they were completely defeated, and more than half of them were killed or injured. With this lesson in mind, they didn't encounter any obstacles for the rest of their journey. 7 days later, the intelligent war chariot successfully arrived at the foot of a towering mountain. This was where the sect of Purple Gold Mountain was located. Purple Gold Mountain was thousands of feet high, and its peak pierced the clouds. There was a thin layer of purple mist floating outside, looking mysterious and strange. At this time, there was no one outside the main gate of Purple Gold Mountain, and it was quiet. Did they all run away? Su Chen narrowed his eyes, and his thoughts slowly turned. Before coming to Purple Gold Mountain, he had been to many sects of big forces, and they were all empty like this. It was as if they knew he would come and all of them had gone into hiding. Just as Su Chen was considering whether or not to go in and take a look, an old, ethereal voice suddenly came from the sect of Purple Gold Mountain. Su Chen, you really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You really dare to come to my Purple Gold Mountain. Don't you know this is your burial place? Su Chen rubbed his nose, got out of the chariot, and shouted, Don't play tricks. Are you Immortal Xiang or Lord Su? Why are you like a coward, not even daring to show your face? I've long heard that you are arrogant. Today, I see that you live up to your reputation. The old voice floated in Su Chen's ears again. If you don't show yourself, do you believe that I won't flatten the entire Purple Mountain? Su Chen coldly snorted. Although it was difficult for him to flatten a giant mountain with his current abilities, It was still possible as long as he spent some time. Therefore, this sentence was not an alarmist exaggeration. Hearing this, the other party was silent for a moment, then said disdainfully, "We are in the main hall of the sect. Come and meet us if you have the guts." Su Chen guessed that the other party must have set up an ambush in the main hall of the sect, waiting for him to enter. No matter what kind of ambush it was, he did not fear it at all. In fact, he even snorted disdainfully. With his current strength, he could face a level 7 evolver head-on, let alone a level 7 evolver in Purple Mountain. "Captain Wu, wait for me in the car. I'll be back soon." Su Chen instructed and headed straight for the main hall of the sect on Mount Jijin. As soon as he entered Mount Jijin, the purple mist around him became much thicker, and his vision became blurry. Su Chen did not mind. Instead, he sped up. In just a few minutes, he had already stepped into the main hall of the sect on Mount Jijin. Opposite him in the hall, there were two people and a beast staring at him like a tiger watching its prey. One of them was an old man wearing a purple Taoist robe. This person's complexion was flushed, and his silver-white hair was draped over his shoulders. He gave off the feeling of an immortal, as if the person standing in front of him was an otherworldly expert. Beside the purple-robed old man stood a mysterious person wearing a conical bamboo hat, with a layer of gray mist surging around him. The strongest feeling that this person gave Su Chen was that he did not have any aura of life, just like a puppet. As for the mutated beast, it was more than 5 meters long, shaped like a giant wolf, and emitted a ferocious aura. It was a level 6 mutated beast. Chapter 413. Could it be the level 6 bloodthirsty demon wolf from the Kongdong mountain range? Su Chen's expression changed slightly. As far as he knew, there was only one level 6 mutated beast on Qianyu Island. When he had gone to the Kongdong mountain range, the bloodthirsty demon wolf had disappeared without a trace, so he suspected that the one in front of him was the bloodthirsty demon wolf. "You three, tell me your names." "I don't kill nameless people." Su Chen glanced at the three people and the beast and sneered. In the face of Su Chen's disdain, the purple-robed elder was not angered at all. Instead, he maintained a smile on his face and said lightly, "I am the sect master of Purple Mountain, Sage Ziyang." The mutated beast next to him purred and said in a deep voice, "I come from the Kongdong mountain range. You should know where I come from, right?" The mysterious man who had spoken at the end said in a mechanical voice, "I am Sage Yexin. It is said that you are proficient in all languages. I am from the puppet race. You have heard of it, right?" Hearing this, Su Chen frowned slightly. Although he was proficient in all languages, he did not know which races there were. It was the first time he had heard of the puppet race. "You want to defeat me with just the three of you? So confident?" Su Chen curled his lips and said disdainfully. Although he hadn't figured out the other party's strength, he didn't think much of the 2 humans and 1 beast. Sage Ziyang smiled again and said, "Prince Su, you are talented and powerful. Even a level 7 evolver may not be your match. Of course, the 3 of us can't do anything to you." Su Chen felt that there was a hidden meaning in his words. He snorted and said, "You must have something to rely on to lure me here. Don't hide it." "Prince Su, you are indeed a smart person. We will not be polite." Reverend Exian sneered. Then, he raised both his hands and 2 red beams of light shot out from his palms. Very quickly, they entered the main hall. Buzz, buzz. After the entire hall trembled, a layer of blood-red energy barrier appeared in the surroundings. A formation? Su Chen was surprised. When he was at Fengshi Colony, he had seen an array formation. The red energy barrier in front of him was a trapping array. The other party's goal was very clear, which was to trap him in the main hall. But what he didn't understand was, what was the use of trapping him? In the end, they would still have to fight. How could the 3 of them be a match for him? Then what was the point of doing this? Reverend Exian coldly stared at Su Chen, laughed wildly without any fear, and said, "Su Chen, even if you have the ability to reach the heavens, don't even think about escaping today. Stop acting tough. Just show me what you've got, Su Chen said casually as he rubbed his nose. The other party's confident look made him very displeased. In addition, he also wanted to see what trump card the other party was relying on. Then go to hell. Honorable EXN smiled sinisterly. Then he raised his head and looked up. He muttered in an extremely sincere manner, Great Lord Devourer Beast, EXN has prepared a delicious meal for you. Please enjoy it. Rumble. Suddenly, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled above the main hall. Then, a black vortex appeared from within. Kikik. Accompanied by a shrill roar, a huge head rushed out of the vortex. This head was the size of a house. It emitted a bloody and evil aura unique to wild beasts. Not only was it ferocious and terrifying, it was also very strange. It had a long and narrow mouth that took up half of its head, and 2 sharp fangs were exposed outside. In the center of the forehead was an eyeball that flashed with bloody light. Blood chi filled the air inside. White bones could be vaguely seen. It was terrifying and strange. Chapter 414. It was Su Chen's first time seeing such a strange demon beast. He could not help but frown. The devouring beast blinked its blood-red eyes and looked around. Finally, its gaze landed on Su Chen. Strong blood chi, condensed essence chi, and strong magic waves. You're a full-time cultivator. And you've reached level 5? The devouring beast seemed to have the same ability as the crimson bug. It immediately sensed Su Chen's strength. Full-time cultivators were rare in the world. It was even more unheard of for both of them to reach level 5 at the same time. The devouring beast could not help but be stunned. Venerable Exion explained, Sir, he's indeed a full-time cultivator. Moreover, his strength as a Dharma psychic and an evolver far exceeds those of the same level. This king's luck is pretty good. I actually managed to meet such a high-level full-time cultivator. After devouring you, this king's strength will definitely increase greatly. The devouring beast licked its lips. Its blood-red eyes were filled with greed as it looked at Su Chen. You want to devour me? Do you think you can boast shamelessly just because you're ugly? Su Chen curled his lips and sneered. The devouring beast in front of him was only a level 6 mutated beast apart from its evil aura. Did it think it could defeat him with such a weak cultivation? What a joke! Human, you do have the right to be arrogant. However, in front of a real powerhouse, you're still like an ant. The devouring beast sneered. The red glow in its blood-red eyes flickered. Suddenly, a red thread shot out toward Su Chen. At the same time, its long and narrow mouth opened abruptly. A whistling sound could be heard in the surroundings. A chilly wind surged like the cries of ghosts and howls of wolves. When the red thread came close, it exploded into a blood-red mist that floated in front of Su Chen. Su Chen felt his spirit tremble. A sense of disorientation welled up in his heart. However, this feeling soon disappeared without a trace. Evil creature? Su Chen squinted his eyes and muttered to himself. The mist formed by the red thread was most likely a kind of demonic filth that could cause one's mind to be lost. If it had been anyone else, even a level 6 cultivator, they might have lost themselves after being hit by this evil thing. However, Su Chen had the ancient god-fiend body and was immune to all poisons and evil. Even the most vicious evil being would not be able to do anything to him. How are you still conscious after being hit by my blood soul technique? The devourer beast's eyes widened as it roared in shock. As one of his trump cards, the blood soul technique had never failed him in every battle. Even a level 7 cultivator would not be able to extricate themselves from it. Why was it that this level 5 human was not affected at all? This was too strange and inconceivable. This is your trump card? If you don't have any other means, you can die now. Su Chen sneered and slowly pulled out the enchanted divine saber from his storage pouch. Do you think that I won't be able to deal with you just because you've broken the blood soul technique? You're too naive. The devourer beast was enraged. After gritting its teeth and roaring, it sucked in a deep breath. After a violent tremor, dense black threads suddenly appeared and squeezed towards Su Chen at the same time. It's not mind power. It seems to have some spatial fluctuations. Su Chen could clearly feel that there was an invisible force coming from all directions. Unlike the invisible force formed by mind power, this invisible force had a sharp cutting power, as if it wanted to cut everything into pieces. Facing such a strange attack, Su Chen still did not panic. His hands were quickly covered with a layer of golden light, and he used the heavenly hundredfold vigor technique. Break! Su Chen roared. Then he pushed his hands outwards, and with a cracking sound, the black threads surrounding him broke. Chapter 4:15. What a strong physical body! What a violent strength! For you. The devouring beast was inexplicably shocked, and its mouth trembled. Seeing that its 2 trump cards had been easily destroyed, its heart was filled with a deep sense of fear. At the same time, it realized that the human in front of it was too terrifying, and that it was no match for him. Still trying to act tough? Su Chen stared at the devouring beast with a mocking expression, and his eyes flashed with a bone-chilling coldness. "Senior, please wait. I have something to say." The devouring beast felt Su Chen's killing intent and hurriedly begged for mercy. Hearing this, Honorable EXN was dumbfounded. What was going on? The powerful devouring beast was actually begging for mercy from a human? Could it be that Su Chen was really that powerful? Thinking of this, his heart could not help but beat wildly. Beside him, Reverend Zhang and the bloodthirsty demon wolf exchanged glances, then quietly retreated. Su Chen noticed the actions of Reverend Ziyang and the bloodthirsty demon wolf, but he ignored them. There was still a formation barrier around them, and they would not be able to escape in a short time. "Let's hear it." Su Chen turned to look at the devouring beast and said calmly. The devouring beast in front of him was the strongest opponent he had ever met, and he was very interested in its background. "Senior, I am Lord Song Lang's subordinate. If you kill me, he will not let you go." The devouring beast gritted its teeth and said, "What's Song Lang's background?" Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. The devouring beast was already very strong, so how strong would the one he called Lord be? Lord Song Lang is the supreme being of the demon clan, in existence beyond level 10. The devouring beast said proudly. "Oh." Su Chen nodded slightly. Although he had never seen an existence beyond level 10, he had heard of it a few times, and was no longer as shocked as he was when he first heard it. The devouring beast's purpose in bringing up Song Lang was clear, and that was to threaten him. But was that possible? In the past, those who had threatened him, whether they were humans, mutated beasts, or foreign races, had all been killed by him without exception. It could be said that no one was qualified to threaten him. "Since you are from the Demon Beast clan, why are you colluding with the Puppet clan?" Su Chen asked calmly. The devouring beast did not hide anything and said bluntly, "Because the Puppet tribe is a subordinate force of our monster tribe." "So that's how it is." Su Chen suddenly understood. Some powerful races would often subdue other races as their subordinate forces. From this, it could be seen that the demon race was not as powerful as the 5 great races, but it could still be considered as one of the top races. After figuring out what was going on, Su Chen smirked. "Now that I know what I need to know, it's time to send you on your way." "You still want to kill me?" The devourer beast was shocked. He really could not understand why this human in front of him still dared to make a move when he had already mentioned his origin and Lord Lone Wolf's name. Were they not afraid of the demon race's revenge? "Aren't you afraid of Lord Wolf's anger?" Su Chen ignored Suo Luo and swept out with his blade. Sizzle! A blue current flashing with electricity rushed towards the devouring beast. Lightning-type magic was originally the nemesis of demons and evil creatures, not to mention that it contained the godly thunder of desolation, and its power was unparalleled. Before the devouring beast could react, the blue current had already drowned him. With a shrill cry, the devouring beast was finally turned into ashes under the ravaging of the blue current. At the same time, colorful fragments slowly floated down from the sky. There were more than 100 fragments, and one of them was purple gold in color. Chapter 416. Su-Chen could not help but feel a little excited when he saw so many shards, including one that was purple gold in color. However, he was not in a hurry to pick up the shards as there were still 2 people and 1 beast left to deal with. Then, he turned to look at Honorable Exin. Honorable Exin was in a daze, as if he was scared out of his wits. The Devourer had always been an invincible existence in his heart. Who would have thought that it would be so easily killed by a human? Faced with a terrifying existence like Su-Chen, he knew that it would be impossible for him to escape alive. Hence, he decided not to run away. Exin, remove this damned formation. On the other side, Sage Ziyang roared. Now that Su-Chen had killed the Devourer, his next target would definitely be them. If they wanted to live, they had to leave this place as soon as possible. However, the formation that Honorable Exin had set up was extremely sturdy and could not be broken in a short time. Without a doubt, this had cut off his chance to escape. His heart was burning with anxiety, and his heart was pounding furiously. The bloodthirsty demon wolf and Sage Ziyang had the same thought as they continuously attacked the formation's barrier. As a level 6 mutated beast, its strength was boundless. Every time it attacked, the formation would shake incessantly. However, with the formation's sturdiness, it was impossible to break it in a short time. Honorable Exin came back to his senses, his face full of bitterness. Originally, he had set up the formation to prevent Su-Chen from escaping. However, he did not expect that they would become turtles in a jar. It was as if he had shot himself in the foot. Don't waste your energy, you two. If you want to live, you have to work together to kill Su-Chen, Honorable Exin said in a low voice. The formation that he had set up was a level 6 trapping formation. It could be broken with brute force, but it would take some time. However, would Su-Chen give them time? The answer was obvious. Su-Chen had enough time to kill them several times over. Hence, he had seen through the situation. Only by working together and risking their lives would they have a chance to live. Go to hell! Taoist Ziyang angrily cursed. Su-Chen was an existence that could easily kill a devouring beast. What use would it be if the 3 of them joined forces? Wouldn't they just be sending themselves to their deaths? Right now, he felt that Venerable Exin was very arrogant, so he snorted disdainfully at Venerable Exin's words. He continued to attack the formation together with the bloodthirsty demon wolf. 2 idiots! Seeing that Reverend Purple Sun and the bloodthirsty fiend wolf remained unmoved, Reverend Heart was so angry that the corners of his mouth twitched. You're not much stronger than them. At that moment, Su-Chen appeared in front of Honorable Exin. He raised his saber and slashed at Honorable Exin. In the blink of an eye, a white torrent shot out from within. The surrounding temperature quickly dropped below freezing point, as if they had suddenly entered a world of ice. What a terrifying ice spell! Just as this thought appeared in Knight Exin's mind, he was engulfed by the white torrent and turned into an ice sculpture. Su-Chen stepped forward and punched Honorable Heart's head. Not far away, Reverend Purple Sun was scared out of his wits when he saw this. The bloodthirsty fiend wolf was also so scared that his entire body trembled violently. At that moment, Su-Chen was a god of death in their eyes. He would kill whoever he saw. No one could stop him. Put more effort into it. Reverend Purple Sun risked his life and punched the formation again. With a cracking sound, a crack appeared on the formation. Seeing this, Reverend Purple Sun and the bloodthirsty fiend wolf were overjoyed. Just as they were about to attack again, they heard a whistling sound. At the same time, they heard Su-Chen's mocking laughter. Don't put up any meaningless resistance because all of you are going to die. Chapter 417. Ziyang subconsciously turned his head and saw a sky full of fist shadows whizzing toward him. Feeling the fierce murderous intent from the fist shadows, he was so scared that he even forgot to dodge and defend. Bang, bang, bang. Both Reverend Zhang and the bloodthirsty demon wolf were smashed to the ground at the same time. The former was smashed into a pile of meat paste. Although the latter didn't die immediately, all the bones in its body were broken. It was obvious that it wouldn't survive. Su Chen raised his hand and shot a wind blade, completely killing the bloodthirsty demon wolf. After the bloodthirsty demon wolf died, more than a dozen fragments dropped from its body. Su Chen curled the corner of his mouth slightly and then began to pick up the fragments. He didn't kill many people this time, but there were a lot of fragments, more than 130 in total. After spending more than 10 minutes picking up the fragments, Su Chen dug out 2 level 6 energy stones from the bloodthirsty demon wolf and the devourer. Then he threw out another Pegasus meteor punch, smashing the formation barrier around him. Then he walked out of the main hall of the Purple Mountain. Back in the intelligent war chariot, Yang Hao and the others gathered around Su Chen and asked about the situation. Su Chen gave a simple explanation and then walked to the driver's seat. His eyes fell on the central control screen, and his thoughts slowly turned. There were no zombies or mutant beasts in the forest area. Staying here was a waste of time. In the other 2 areas of Thousand Feather Island, the number of zombies and mutant beasts was pitifully small. In this way, if he wanted to continue to collect fragments, he would need to leave Thousand Feather Island. At this moment, Su Chen was observing an island called Jiaoshu. Jiaoshu Island was only 1/3 the size of Thousand Feather Island, but it was the closest island to Thousand Feather Island. If he wanted to leave Thousand Feather Island, the first place he should go should be the closest one. After setting his goal, Su Chen looked for Wu Yang and the others to discuss. Although they were reluctant to leave Thousand Feather Island, they all knew that the outside world was the most vast, and they were full of infinite curiosity. Therefore, no one objected. Satoshi, find the shortest route to the Transcendent Sea, Su Chen ordered. The sea area between Qinyu Island and Jiaoshu Island was called the Secluded Sea. The best route to Jiaoshu Island was to sail through the Secluded Sea. Yes. The intelligent war chariot planned its route and sped forward. After that, Su Chen took out constitution potions to help everyone level up. Wu Yang and the others had leveled up when they went to Etion City. It had been a long time since then, and their foundations were solid. After taking the Constitution Potion, they all successfully advanced. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian had become level 4 evolutionaries, while Yang Hao and the others had become level 3 evolutionaries. The 3 mutated wolves were level 3 evolvers and level 3 magicians. It could be said that with everyone's advancement, the strength of Su Chen's team had once again soared by a large margin. Even if they went to other islands in the future, with their strength, they would be able to do whatever they wanted. After Wu Yang and the others finished leveling up, Su Chen opened the planting dimension. Originally, he planned to replace the time accelerator with a level 6 energy stone. But the moment he opened it, he clearly heard the longevity fruit tree chatting with a little girl. Su Chen froze for a moment, then released his mental power to check. When his mental power fell on the essence fruit tree, his expression suddenly changed. He saw a girl's face on the trunk of the essence fruit tree. She looked like a 5 or 6-year-old girl and looked very cute. Chapter 418. The longevity fruit tree sensed Su Chen's presence and called out respectfully, "Master!" The essence fruit tree blinked and called out, "Big brother, you're here." With the help of the time accelerator, she quickly gained sentience. Later on, she learned a little about Su Chen from the longevity fruit tree. Speaking of which, the reason she could live peacefully until now and gain sentience so quickly was all thanks to Su Chen's help. She was very grateful to Su Chen. Little show, the essence fruit tree gained sentience? Su Chen was surprised. It had only been a few days since he got the essence fruit tree. If it could gain sentience in such a short time, didn't that mean it could produce essence fruits? Master, the environment here is very suitable for the survival of the monster plant clan. In addition, there's something that can shorten the growth cycle. That's why the essence fruit tree gained sentience so quickly, the longevity fruit tree explained. Su Chen nodded slightly. Then he looked at the essence fruit tree and said with a smile, "Little Yuan, you and Little Shou will live here from now on." With my protection, you won't be in any danger. Thank you, big brother. The essence fruit tree was overjoyed. She expressed her gratitude and said, Big brother, I heard from Grandpa show that you need essence fruits. Don't worry, I'll produce them soon. Try your best. But remember, don't hurt your foundation. Otherwise, you'll lose more than you gain, Suchin said seriously. Although he urgently needed essence fruits to improve his mentality, he did not want to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. I understand, big brother. The essence fruit tree nodded heavily. After a while, Suchin installed 2 level 6 energy stones on the time accelerator and closed the planting space. Chingu, let's play a game? As it would take a long time to reach the ethereal sea, Yang Hao invited Suchin to play Fight the Landlord since he had nothing to do. Come on. Suchin did not refuse. After that, everyone gathered to play Fight the Landlord or listen to music. It was rare for them to enjoy a relaxing time. On the 10th day, they finally reached the Transcendent Sea. There was a big difference between the Transcendent Ocean and the Forgotten Worries Ocean. The Forgotten Worries Ocean's water was a kind of dark black, while the Transcendent Ocean's water was azure. Although it was just a difference in color, the Transcendent Sea looked much more comfortable. Satoshi, can you sail in the sea now? When they arrived at the seaside, Suchin immediately asked the intelligent war chariot. He still remembered that the intelligent war chariot had mentioned that it would be able to roam the sea when it reached level 5. Master, I have no problem sailing in the sea. It's just that the speed is a little slower than on land, the intelligent war chariot replied affirmatively. All right, let's go down to the sea and head for Jiaosu Island. Suchin looked shaken. The intelligent war chariot charged into the sea and quickly transformed from a war chariot into a cruise ship. Although its appearance had changed, it still looked very cool. Suchin sat in the driver's seat and shifted his gaze to the central control screen. It would take at least half a month to reach Jiaosu Island. He did not want to waste this time, so he was searching for the whereabouts of the sea monsters. Unfortunately, within the monitoring range, there was no trace of a red dot. Instead, there were 2 blue dots that appeared more than 10 miles away. The detection range of the intelligent war chariot was 500 kilometers, which meant that there was not a single sea monster within 500 kilometers of the sea. This was something that Suchin did not expect. After pondering for a while, he said, Satoshi, go to the 2 blue dots and have a look. Chapter 419. A few minutes later, 2 wooden boats, one big and one small, appeared in front of the intelligent war chariot. They were in a state of chase. The small wooden boat was being chased by the big wooden boat. When the intelligent war chariot appeared, the big wooden boat suddenly changed direction and headed straight for the intelligent war chariot. When the 2 were less than 10 meters away, the big wooden boat threw down a huge net and covered the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, destroy this big boat. Suchin snorted coldly. As soon as Fong Pu met him, he wanted to arrest him without asking any questions. This made him very unhappy. The current intelligent war chariot had a variety of attack methods. Ungraded Gatling gun, torpedo launcher, level 2 pulse cannon, and magnetic storm net could all destroy the wooden boat in front of him. The intelligent war chariot chose the most energy-efficient method and charged straight at the wooden boat. With a loud bang, the wooden boat was cut in half by the intelligent war chariot and quickly sank to the bottom of the sea. Perhaps because the people on the boat were knocked unconscious, none of them survived. Suchin did not care about this. He turned to the intelligent war chariot and ordered, Satoshi, chase after that small boat. The intelligent war chariot changed direction and quickly chased after it. There were only 2 people on the small wooden boat. One was a thin old man, and the other was a dark-skinned, sturdy young man. When the 2 of them saw the intelligent war chariot rushing over, their faces became very ugly. Previously, they had witnessed the scene of the intelligent war chariot destroying the big boat with their own eyes. They knew that if they were touched by the intelligent war chariot, They would definitely end up with the boat destroyed and people killed. However, the intelligent war chariot was too fast. It was far from what their small boat could compare to. They could not escape, and they were afraid of angering Su Chen and the others. The thin old man and the sturdy young man simply stopped the boat and waited for the intelligent war chariot to arrive. When the intelligent war chariot caught up, Su Chen opened the door and walked out alone. He glanced at the thin old man and the sturdy young man and said lightly, "Uncle, I have something to ask you." "Senior, feel free to ask me anything." The skinny old man felt uneasy. Although Su Chen looked young, his identity and strength must be extraordinary to be able to own such a powerful iron ship, so he did not dare to be careless at all. "Are there any sea demon beasts near the Transcendent Sea?" Su Chen asked directly. The skinny old man thought for a moment and replied, "There used to be a lot of them, but in recent years, there have been fewer and fewer of them. This year, I can't even see one." "Do you know why?" Su Chen frowned slightly. Without the sea beast to kill, he wouldn't be able to obtain the fragments. This was something he didn't want to see the most. "I'm not sure." The skinny old man answered honestly. He was just an ordinary person. He only dared to go out to sea because the sea demon beasts in the Transcendent Sea had disappeared this year. As for why the sea beasts had all disappeared, at his level, it could be said that he had no idea. Su Chen thought for a moment and asked again, "What's the origin of the big ship that chased you just now?" "Senior, they are a pirate group on the Gravel Island. They often rob people in the Transcendent Sea. I don't know how many of us they have captured. So that pirate group has existed for many years?" Su Chen asked calmly. The skinny old man nodded heavily. "Well, you can leave now," Su Chen said casually and then returned to the car. "Thank you, Senior." The skinny old man and the sturdy young man felt as if they had been pardoned. They quickly rowed the boat and left the place. As soon as he returned to the car, Su Chen looked at the central control screen and began to search for the specific location of the Gravel Island. Since the pirates had existed for so many years, they must have accumulated a considerable amount of wealth. Anyway, there were no sea demon beasts to kill, so he decided to kill all the pirates on the Gravel Island. Chapter 420. The image on the central control screen changed and soon, the Gravel Island appeared. The Gravel Island was an inconspicuous small island with an area of only about 3,000 square kilometers. Su Chen looked at the distance and ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, lock onto the Gravel Island and head there. The intelligent war chariot received the order and headed straight to the Gravel Island. Half a day later, the Gravel Island appeared within the detection range of the central control screen. Su Chen was surprised to see a large number of blue dots gathered on the Gravel Island. There were at least a few thousand of them. In addition, there was also a huge black dot, and it was not a normal size. It was almost equal to 1/3 of the size of the island. There was no doubt that the black dot represented an alien creature. However, it was Su Chen's first time seeing such a huge alien creature. He was shocked and could not help but be a little vigilant. "Satoshi, zoom in on the Gravel Island." As long as it was within the detection range of the intelligent war chariot, anything could be zoomed in or out. The image on the central control screen changed and soon, the Gravel Island appeared clearly. Su Chen took a closer look and his eyebrows twitched. In his line of sight was a huge tree that was as black as ink. It was as tall as a 10-story building. Its wide crown covered the sky and almost covered 1/3 of the Gravel Island. Moreover, there was a human face in the center of its trunk. Compared to the gentle appearance of the longevity fruit tree, it looked very gloomy and evil, giving people a creepy feeling. "It's a demon plant," Su Chen muttered. The demon plants that appeared around the mysterious heavenly mainland were most likely brought out by the demon plant powerhouse back then. In other words, they should be more familiar with the longevity fruit tree. With that in mind, Su Chen opened the planting space and communicated with the longevity fruit tree. "Little Longevity, does your demon plant clan have a giant black tree demon plant?" "Giant black tree?" The longevity fruit tree muttered and asked, "Master, how big is it?" Su-Chen explained, "It's as tall as a 10-story building. Its crown even covers the sky and the sun." The longevity fruit tree sucked in a breath of cold air, and its face turned ugly. The essence fruit tree at the side also trembled slightly, as though it was afraid of the giant black tree. Su-Chen sensed something was wrong. "Xiao Shou, what's its name? Is it very powerful?" "Master, he is called the Abyssal Black Poria Kokos. He is extremely powerful, or you could say that he is extremely evil," the longevity fruit tree said with a trembling voice. "Be more specific," Su-Chen asked. "The Abyssal Black Poria survives by devouring all living things. It is the demon plant with the greatest potential and the strongest strength in our demon plant lineage. Its body is abnormally tough and it can even cultivate mental energy. Other than that, the most frightening thing is that it can release evil chi. The evil aura is extremely vicious. It is colorless and tasteless, but it can make people lose their minds and make them fall into a trance. Over time, they will completely become the puppet of the Abyss Black Poria," the longevity fruit tree explained. Hearing that, Su-Chen was slightly moved. According to the longevity fruit tree, the Abyssal Black Poria Kokos could be a demon plant that was both an evolver and a telekinesis master. With the help of the evil chi, its individual combat power should not be underestimated. Among those of the same level, it should not be a match for it. At the very least, it should not be weaker than the Devourer. "What level do you think the Abyssal Black Poria Kokos on the Gravel Island should be?" Su-Chen asked. "It should be level 6, the longevity fruit tree said with uncertainty. "If it is only level 6, it will be easy to kill it," Su-Chen said with a smile. Chapter 421. The Abyss Black Poria's greatest reliance was its evil aura. However, this was completely restrained by Su-Chen's ancient god-fiend body. As such, Su-Chen only needed to deal with a level 6 evolved being and a level 6 telekinesis master monster plant. With his current means, it was not a big problem to crush the Abyss Black Poria. "Master, are you going to kill the Abyss Black Poria?" The longevity fruit tree and essence fruit tree were shocked. The Abyss Black Poria was the most powerful combat-type monster plant in the monster plant lineage. Its strength was even stronger than those of the same level. Su-Chen was only level 5 now. Even if he was a full-time cultivator, they did not think that Su-Chen would be a match for it. At this moment, they were deeply worried for Su-Chen. "Don't worry, I have a way to deal with it." Su-Chen smiled slightly and did not explain too much. Then he closed the planting space. After killing the level 6 monster plant, it would definitely drop many fragments. He would definitely not miss this opportunity. "Satoshi, speed up to the Gravel Island," Su-Chen ordered. "Yes." The intelligent war chariot was activated at full speed and rushed straight to the Gravel Island. After more than an hour, it appeared on the sea less than 100 meters away from the Gravel Island. At this moment, the humans on the Gravel Island discovered the intelligent war chariot. Soon, 2 large wooden boats sailed over. "All of you stay in the car," Su-Chen instructed. After getting out of the car, he walked on the waves. When he approached the 2 wooden boats, he raised his hand and shot out 2 wind blades, easily destroying them. Then, he did not stop and rushed to the island in one breath. Suddenly, the humans on the island attacked Su-Chen crazily. Su-Chen could see clearly that these people's eyes were dim and their minds were blurry. They were obviously controlled by the Abyss Black Poria. Therefore, he did not have to be merciful. With a few spells, he killed and injured a large number of these humans. "Human, hurry up and stop. Do you want to die?" Suddenly, a roar resounded on the Gravel Island. The roar was like rolling thunder, containing extreme anger. Su-Chen knew that the Abyssal Black Poria was warning him, but he ignored it and continued to slaughter the humans who had lost their minds. In the blink of an eye, the thousands of humans on the island were reduced to less than 100. "Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." The Abyss Black Poria Ridge's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets as she roared explosively. The next moment, the entire island shook violently. It was the abyss Black Poria pulling out a thick tree root from the ground and smashing it down at Suchin. Hoo-hoo, the deafening sound of something breaking through the air was heard, and the sky darkened. In the face of the violent attack of the abyss Black Poria, the corners of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly. As a hint of disdain appeared, he activated the 100 times great strength technique and grabbed upwards with one hand. Reckless! Abyssal Black Poria Ridge smiled darkly. The force of its roots was at least tens of thousands of kilograms. A mere human cultivator dared to take it head-on with his physical body? Wasn't he courting death? There was a loud boom. The thick tree root of the abyss Black Poria Ridge collided with Su Chen's palm and let out a loud explosion. However, the expected scene of Su Chen being smashed into minced meat did not happen. Instead, the abyss Black Poria Ridge's tree root was firmly grasped by Su Chen's hand. Moreover, looking at Su Chen's appearance, it seemed as if he did not need to exert any effort. How did he do it? Witnessing this scene, the abyss Black Poria Ridge fell into a deep daze. A puny human being actually possessed such powerful strength. It was completely beyond its understanding. At this moment, it even wondered if it was dreaming. Chapter 422. Ugh! All of a sudden, the abyss Black Poria felt an intense pain in its heart. When it saw Su Chen tearing its roots apart, the abyss Black Poria felt extremely ridiculous. It was a level 6 demon plant after all. How could a puny human try to tear off its roots? However, in the next moment, it realized that it was wrong, terribly wrong. The power of the human in front of it shocked it once again. Along with a crisp cracking sound, its entire tree root was torn off from the roots. The abyss Black Poria screamed miserably. Its tree root was like a human's 4 limbs. When it was torn off, the pain was as deep as the sea, and it was not something it could withstand at all. That's all you got? Su Chen smiled contemptuously, threw away the thick tree root, and immediately rushed towards the abyss Black Poria. Human, I want you dead. The hatred of having its roots severed was absolutely irreconcilable. The abyss Black Poria Ridge was completely enraged. After it opened its mouth and spat out a colorless and odorless wave of air, it released its mental strength and crushed towards Su Chen. Su Chen did not dodge and allowed the wave of air and mental strength to attack him at the same time. When the wave of air hit him, he felt his divine soul tremble slightly, as if it had been hit by the blood-soul technique of the devouring beast. However, this feeling soon disappeared without a trace. At the same time, when a majestic invisible force crushed over, he also released his mental strength to resist it. Although Su Chen's mental strength was a level lower than the abyss Black Poria, he had the ancient godfiend body and could offset a portion of mental strength. Coupled with his mental strength, the abyss Black Poria's mental strength could not do anything to him at all. Why can't the evil aura and mental strength have any effect on him? Seeing that Su Chen was clear-headed and his movements were as smooth as flowing water, the abyss Black Poria was deeply puzzled. At the same time, it could not help but feel an inexplicable fear in its heart. If both of its trump cards could not do anything to the other party, how powerful was the human in front of it? Would it still be a match for him? Su Chen rushed forward and slashed out with his saber. With a sizzling sound, a blue torrent shot out and instantly engulfed the abyss Black Poria's body. A lightning spell that surpasses level 6. The abyssal Black Poria let out a roar of despair. Its huge body was instantly riddled with holes under the ravaging lightning. Senior, don't kill me. In the face of life and death, the abyss Black Poria couldn't care about anything else and loudly begged for mercy. I'm still waiting for the fragments. Su Chen remained unmoved. He raised his hand and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. Hundreds of fist shadows fell, smashing the abyssal Black Poria's body until it collapsed, and its life force was also completely crushed. Boom! The corpse of the abyssal Black Poria fell heavily to the ground, causing the entire island to shake violently. At the same time, thousands of colorful beams of light shot into the sky. For a moment, Su Chen's eyes were dazzled, and his breathing became heavier. After a long time, he lost his voice and muttered, 1,000 fragments. After killing the abyssal black poria, 1,000 fragments were dropped. This was something that he never expected. At this moment, he even doubted if his eyes were playing tricks on him. At the same time, the people in the intelligent war chariot were shocked. Su Chen killing enemies of a higher level had become a common sight for them, and they were already used to it. However, easily killing such a huge demon plant still made them speechless. Wu Yang exclaimed, "He's still as invincible as before." Yang Hao, who was beside him, took a deep breath. Qin Gu is getting fiercer and fiercer. Chapter 423. Su Chen suppressed his excitement and started to pick up the fragments. As usual, he glanced at the fragments and a purplish gold fragment appeared in his sight. My luck is off the charts. Su Chen walked forward happily and grabbed the fragment. Picked up 2,000 energy points, fragment *111. The fragments are full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Then he continued to pick up the fragments. 2 hours later, all the fragments were picked up. Su Chen's gaze fell on the corpse of the abyss black poria. He still remembered that when he was at Qinyu Island, he had killed a blood plant and obtained a demonic core. The abyss black poria's level was much higher than the blood plant. It should have produced a demonic core, right? Thinking of this, he started to search. Hard work paid off. After more than 10 minutes, he finally found a blood-colored demonic core that was the size of a fist and was in the shape of a rhombus. In order to confirm its authenticity, Su Chen opened the planting space and placed the demonic core in front of the longevity fruit tree. He asked, "Xiao Shou, take a look. Is this the demonic core of the abyss black poria?" Although the abyss black poria was dead, there was still a large amount of aura left in the demonic core. The longevity fruit tree immediately confirmed, "Master, this is the beast core of the abyss black poria." After saying that, he looked at Su Chen in a daze and his face was filled with shock. Previously, when Su Chen said that he was going to kill the abyss black poria, he found it unbelievable. He was even worried about Su Chen's safety. He did not expect Su Chen to kill it without hesitation. And he really did it. Thus, it could be seen that Su Chen's strength was much more powerful than he had imagined. The essence fruit tree next to him was also surprised. She looked at Su Chen in a daze, her eyes full of worship and awe. After confirming the authenticity of the demonic core, Su Chen was about to close the planting space when the longevity fruit tree spoke again. "Master, is the corpse of the abyss black poria still there? His body has been scattered by me, but there are still many parts that are intact. Do you have any use for them?" Su Chen asked. The longevity fruit tree was overjoyed and quickly said, "Master, the corpse of the abyssal black poria contains a large amount of energy and can be used as top-grade nourishment. If we absorb all of it, we can definitely speed up our growth." Hearing this, Su Chen's eyes lit up. He didn't want the abyssal black poria's corpse in the first place. Giving it to the longevity fruit tree to absorb its energy was equivalent to recycling waste. "All right, I'll bring it in right away." With that, Su Chen closed the plant dimension and began to deal with the abyssal black poria's corpse. After half an hour, when its plant dimension and storage bag were full, he finally gave up. After that, he walked around the island and found nothing, so he returned to the intelligent war chariot. "Satoshi, this demon core should be useful to you, right?" As soon as he returned to the car, Su Chen took out the abyssal black poria's demonic core. "Master, this demonic core contains a large amount of energy. If you let me install it, I can develop a new function," the intelligent war chariot said excitedly. Su Chen's expression changed, and he asked anxiously, "What new function?" "In the future, no matter what kind of creatures we detect, I can tell what level they are." Su Chen had an idea. This function could be said to be the same as the detection talent of the Crimson Bug and the Devourer. The difference was that the intelligent war chariot's detection range and number were much higher. To Su Chen, the benefits of this new function were obvious. In the future, when he encountered an enemy, he could immediately obtain the opponent's cultivation level and be prepared in advance so that he would have the absolute advantage. Chapter 424. After that, the intelligent war chariot continued to sail toward Jiaoshu Island. For 5 days in a row, they still didn't see a single sea demon beast. It was really strange that there was not a single good sea demon beast in such a large area of the sea. On this day, Su Chen was sitting in the driver's seat and observing the central control screen. Suddenly, he found that there were a large number of red dots on the screen. There were more than 10,000 of them. It was the first time that he had found traces of sea demons after so many days. Su Chen was immediately excited. However, he didn't feel happy for long before he found that there was a huge red dot following closely behind those red dots. Moreover, it was extremely fast and soon caught up with those red dots in front. Then, the red dots in front began to disappear in large numbers. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of red dots had disappeared. Seeing this, Su Chen already understood what was going on. The huge red dot behind was obviously a powerful sea demon beast. At this moment, it was chasing and devouring some weak sea demons. Satoshi, lock onto that big sea demon beast and zoom in on the screen, Su Chen ordered. Yes. The image on the central control screen changed, and a giant octopus appeared. In terms of size, it was comparable to the heavenly overlord turtle. Su Chen glanced at it and said, Satoshi, what level is this octopus at? Level 6. The intelligent war chariot directly replied. A level 6 sea demon beast was the overlord of the deep sea. Su Chen somewhat understood. No wonder there was no sea demon beast nearby. They must have been eaten by this giant octopus. Satoshi, speed up and catch up with it. A level 6 sea demon beast and tens of thousands of low-level sea demons. Of course, Su Chen wouldn't miss the opportunity to hunt. The intelligent war chariot drove at full speed and chased after those sea demons. About 2 hours later, the intelligent war chariot finally caught up with them. However, at this time, Su Chen didn't look very good. After 2 hours of chasing, almost half of the sea demon beasts had been killed. There were only about 5,000 of them left. Losing so many fragments in such a short period of time was equivalent to losing several hundred fragments. Su Chen gnashed his teeth in hatred. Satoshi, fire with all your might. Kill those sea monsters. If they continued to wait, more sea beasts would be killed by the octopus. Su Chen immediately gave the order. Then he rushed out of the car and went straight for the octopus. The intelligent war chariot had many offensive means, but the most effective weapon for hunting sea demon beasts was the torpedo attack. Therefore, as soon as it received Su Chen's order, it launched a dozen torpedoes in succession. Boom, 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 more than a dozen roars were heard in succession. A huge wave was set off among the sea beasts. Thick water columns soared into the sky one after another. After an unknown period of time, the sea surface became calm again. The color of the sea water had turned blood red. Corpses of sea beasts were floating on the sea surface. There were at least 4,000 to 5,000 of them. The giant octopus was also attacked by a torpedo. However, with its strength, it wasn't hurt at all. At this moment, it was slightly stunned. Then, it roared angrily, "Who is it? Who dares to hunt my food? I'll burn his bones and scatter his ashes." Stop shouting. I killed it. Su Chen smiled and walked forward. The giant octopus looked in the direction of the voice. Soon, a tiny human appeared in its sight. At this moment, the giant octopus felt extremely ridiculous. A mere human dared to hunt its food? Was there something wrong with his brain? Or was he tired of living? Human, since you killed my food, I'll eat you. The giant octopus let out a piercing shriek. Then, it stretched out a thick arm and went straight for Su Chen. Chapter 425. When the giant octopus's tentacles were about to reach him, a purple light flashed under Su Chen's feet, and he disappeared from the spot like a ghost. The giant octopus did not expect Su Chen to be so fast, but it did not take it to heart. After all, it had already noticed that Su Chen was at most level 5. So what if he was fast? In the end, strength was the deciding factor. How could a mere level 5 human be able to do anything to it? The giant octopus turned its gaze and began to search for Su Chen's traces. Suddenly, it found a figure standing in the air above its head. It's that human. How can he stand in the air? The giant octopus's heart trembled. Su Chen's strange means had already made it wary. Just as it was about to attack again, it saw that Su Chen had already launched an attack. Su Chen, who was in midair, held a pitch-black battle sword with both hands and slashed down. In an instant, a white torrent shot out from the sword, and a terrifying chill swept out. The surrounding seawater was attacked by the chill, and a layer of ice formed in the blink of an eye. Level 7 ice spell. The giant octopus was shocked, and its expression looked as if it had seen a ghost. It really could not understand how a level 5 human could release a level 7 spell. Feeling the biting chill, the giant octopus gritted its teeth, waved its tentacles, and smashed them directly toward the white torrent. At the moment of contact, a layer of frost quickly appeared on its tentacles, and it was immediately frozen. The giant octopus was scared, and it struggled with all its might. It even tore off several of its tentacles in an attempt to escape. Su Chen had already noticed this. How could he give it a chance to escape? First, he threw out a Pegasus Meteor Punch to break the big octopus's skin and flesh. Then, he opened the pet breeding space and released the Heavenly King Tortoise and the super ancient devouring Vajramosquito. You too destroy it? Su Chen stretched out his hand and pointed at the giant octopus as he shouted. The 2 level 6 spiritual pets roared and rushed up to kill. In a few moves, they divided the big octopus. Motherf asterisk cur. Leave a tentacle for me. Seeing that the giant octopus was about to be eaten up, Su Chen shouted anxiously. He hadn't eaten the meat of a level 6 sea monster before. He had to try it this time. He couldn't let the Heavenly Overlord Tortoise eat it alone every time. The Heavenly Overlord Tortoise was quite loyal. It left 2 of the tentacles for Su Chen and took the rest for itself, munching on it. This guy is really generous. Su Chen clicked his tongue and waved at the intelligent war chariot. Then he began to pick up the fragments. After killing the giant octopus, it dropped 100 fragments. Adding the 500 fragments from killing the group of sea beasts, he had more than 600 fragments. Su Chen was quite satisfied with this result. After more than 3 hours, Su Chen finished picking up the fragments and collected the corpses of the sea beasts that were still intact. Then he returned to the intelligent war chariot. At this time, Yang Hao and the other 2 came up to him with smiles on their faces and asked, "Chengu, when are we eating?" Su Chen knew very well that these 3 foodies must be thinking about the tentacles of the giant octopus. Then he cut off a tentacle and gave it to Yang Hao to cook. Yang Hao busied himself, and soon, a strong smell of meat wafted in the chariot. Su Chen had nothing to do, so he opened the planted space and installed the newly obtained level 6 energy stone on the time accelerator. Just as he was about to close it, he suddenly found that the essence fruit tree had borne 10 peanut-sized fruits. Each fruit was emitting a strong wave of mind power. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.